Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Nerdrotic Nooner as I bring the music down a little bit. My name is Gary Beekler. I am live in San Francisco, California. Not for long. Not for long. And I come to you from nerdrotic.com. And all of a sudden my phone is ringing, so I will ignore it. Greetings. So this one's a little late. I'm sure it's noon somewhere, and as people roll in, we'll go over what we're going to discuss today. 3 or 4 things, if we have time. I can't go for 8 hours. But we will be talking about Sean Gordon Murphy. We will be talking about superheroes getting canceled. Called that one on Friday Night Tights 4 weeks ago. We will be talking about the Winds of Winter delay. I want to hit that one hard. And we will be talking about Doctor Who, those rumors. And if there's time, we can get to the Star Wars rumors that are out there if you guys are interested. You know, honestly, they could wipe all of Disney canon out. And unless they go back in time and prevent the Disney trilogy from being made, I'm not entirely sure what good it does. But it would be nice. It would be nice if they took Star Trek Discovery and put it in the Kelvin universe as well. And, don't stop there. Doctor Who, Marvel Comics. There's a lot of work to be done, but that would be nice if that happened. So let's see who's here. Let's see. Brian Kadersha. Thank you for all the unicorns. Jake Kalo, so glad you are getting out of Cali. Yes, the process has begun. Hashtag CalExit. Mark 63366. I'm not the long man. The long man is awesome, by the way. We love Mahler. Nacho Man Randy Sandwich. I love that name. Peter Hand, Easy Does It, the Green Laser Beam, Laser, Angry Panda, Shoot First Solo, Hecatat's Daughter, Super John, Battle Hymn 63, Mark Santos, Tim Effer. That should totally be your channel name, Tim Effer. Joe Bag of Donuts, Max Mercer, Gray Toll, Rick 137, Lori Wilson. Hi, Lori. Sir Straith, Techaman Blade, Skippy Fab, Java Bean, John Robertson, Brian Kedersha, which I said already, but hello again. Mary Duarte, Moshe Lax, what's this? Luger, long last name. Luger, long last name. I can read. Boston John 420, bro. Kelbor Hal, the Master. That's the problematic name. As a matter of fact, they're probably going to have to strike that out of Doctor Who. We can't have a master called the Master. We can't have a bad guy called the Master. Vigilante Williamson, Mutated Genome, Hawkeye Station Paranormal, Judicon CIA, Sander Hammerslag, Moons of Madness, Dr. Mosk, Joe Bag of Donuts again. I don't know why I'm repeating myself now. And Tom Brown, who I just talked to, by the way, in the member stream. So yeah, I did a member stream today. That's why this is late. But got to take care of the members, and I'm glad I talked to them because I don't know how I was going to approach the Sean Gordon Murphy situation because I generally don't get personal, even if it's with Miss Dana Schwartz. It's in good fun. Hashtag Danaz. Still rooting for those two. But this one's a serious situation, and I don't think it's hyperbolic or hyperbole to say that what's going on with Sean Gordon Murphy is ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous, and it puts the entire comic book industry at a crossroads now. It's that important. I think Sean Gordon Murphy, unless he has said anything publicly, which I don't know, I've been busy prepping for the show, and I didn't go and look to see if he told this person to go get fucked. But he should, because they're trying to cancel. If you haven't heard of Sean Gordon Murphy, and some of you might not have, he's a comic artist, and he's probably one of the last prominent comic artists left working in the comic clique. I'm not going to call it an industry anymore. And they've already gone after him for his association with his friends. He hasn't done anything ever, by the way, that I know of, but I doubt it. He's a married guy. Everybody loves him. He makes great comic books. He makes people happy. So certainly, let's get rid of him. And what have I always said, and what has everybody said? Cancel culture is used for removing competition. Unfortunately, the people trying to remove Sean Gordon Murphy, it's still not going to get them work, because I'm not going to mention this person's name. We will call this person the worst comic book writer of all time. Just the worst comic book writer of all time is trying to cancel one of the best comic book artists who are currently working in the industry. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't even know why we need this industry anymore. I'm finding it hard to fight for the mainstream industry. And I'm sorry to my fellow comic shop owners, but I don't think it's worth even saving, because look who's in it. Look who's in it. And believe me, when I said 4 weeks ago, they're not going to stop with cops, because superheroes work with cops, they're going to come after superheroes. And that's exactly what they have been doing for the last 5 to 6 years. Slowly, systematically destroying them from within. This was never about inclusivity and diversity. Ever. So we're seeing, I guess the one thing we should be grateful for is we're seeing people's true face. We are seeing, they are revealing their plans. The plans we all knew were there, but they're all out. Everything's out in the open now. And that's good. I think that's a good thing. You got to know what you're fighting. So, and definitely, if you guys wanted to discuss the rumors, there's a couple things I didn't talk about in the video that I can now. So that's interesting. I did get a very interesting email today, and I'm just going to be a tease. I can't talk about it yet. But holy crap. So we do know that there's little whisper networks. And believe me, it's not just in the comic book industry. This goes on with actors on a much bigger scale. But if you're not aware, the comic book industry is a complete disaster. It's falling apart. They're not producing new material. What new material they do produce is utter crap. Everything's delayed. Comic shops are closing. They're opening and closing back up again. Diamond quit distributing for a little while and then picked back up. Then DC quit Diamond, and we all know that AT&T has DC under the microscope. And at this point, if I was somebody at DC, if I was somebody at AT&T, and I'm like looking at this little publishing company, I'm like, well, man, they bring in dick for us. So what's the point? Okay, well, they're the source material for all our movies. And they are basically advertising pamphlets. That's what they are. So if we could coordinate it, maybe we can keep it there. We could keep the publishing for the YA stuff that sells through Scholastic. But as far as, superhero books, look what we got. The sales are just rock bottom. And you go on Twitter and you see people working for our company trying to cancel, or who have worked for our company, trying to cancel other people who work for our company just for talking to them, just for being a friend. So I'm sure you guys know this. In Hollywood, in entertainment, people bullshit you. People lie. People have no intention of fulfilling some promises. You're at a party. Say you're at a party with a writer of a TV show that just got canceled off of Sci-Fi, and you're a prominent artist. Say you're Sean Gordon Murphy. And you pass at this party, and this person who is behind the canceled TV show on Sci-Fi goes, hey, maybe we should work together sometime. And Sean Gordon Murphy's surrounded by his peers. His wife's there. He doesn't want to get no. He says, yeah, give me a call. DM me. Sure, we'll do something. Down the road, Sean has no intention of ever fulfilling that promise, ever. He's just being nice. But honestly, that's not being nice. I know that's how things go in Hollywood, but that's horrible boundaries. There's a better way to put that. Like, just email me. There's a way to subtly say you're going to get in line with everybody else. You're not jumping the line. just because we're playing identity politics and you are part of a protected class. And apparently, there's the term beard, right? You know, the beard term. Basically, I think, and I don't know the whole story, we're going to go over the article. Certain comic creators are using other creators as beards to protect them from being canceled. That's not abuse. That's not against the law. If manipulating people was abuse, then the people making these accusations are very abusive people, we'll just say. This is just manipulation. This is just a person who is down and out in the industry now because they're the worst comic book writer in the history of comic books. They should not be getting work based on any of their sales. Everybody who associates with this, everything that is associated with this person gets canceled. Comic books, TV shows, and Friends. Saw a tweet the other day. Let's see if I can find it. I'll read it to you. Hang on. Let's see. It was a damn good tweet. Oh, why am I looking at Daisy Ridley? I consider this right next to Shatner's I Do Me with the female picture of him. I would consider this the tweet of 2020. Here it is. It's by Kung Fu Panda. Rules to live by. Number 1, do not speak to SJWs. Number 2, do not hire SJWs. Number 3, do not socialize with SJWs. Number 4, do not date an SJW. Number 5, never be alone in a room with an SJW. Protect yourself. Every DM, every association will be weaponized against you, even if you're being nice, even if you're being polite, and you don't want to hurt the person's feelings. Start hurting some feelings. So I don't know. It is very important for Sean Gordon Murphy to defend himself on this. And if he doesn't, he screws over a lot of other people. I know Sean Gordon Murphy's always listening to me for advice, and I'll tell him, get out of the comic book industry. Just get out. You don't need it. They need you more than you need it. If not, then whip out your big schlong and freaking whap it around because you are the biggest deal right now. I don't know why you want to work there anymore, though. I don't know what the point is. Sure, the money's good. You can go out in Indiegogo right now and make plenty of your own money and not have to deal with HR departments run by lunatics and a work atmosphere that is hostile. That is a hostile work atmosphere. Twitter is a hostile atmosphere. People getting canceled left or right. Terry Crews right now. Terry Crews facing backlash. I don't know why beef stroganoff is trending right now. Why is beef stroganoff trending? Are they canceling beef stroganoff too? Did I hear that they put a disclaimer in front of Aliens because Vasquez is not played by a Latino actress? Did I hear that right? They're going to go after Princess Bride next. It's not like Mandy Patinkin was Spanish. Jesus Christ, it's crazy. Okay, so I'm going to read. So I'm not going to put up the article because I don't want it. And it's not like I'm worried about this person. Yes, the alphabet community's protected here. That's fine. I just don't want to give this person any more attention. That's what this person wants. And this isn't about this person, the worst comic book writer of all time. It's not even about this person at all. It's about Sean Gordon Murphy standing up for himself. Dude, stand up for yourself. Because it doesn't matter. Hey, you can say all you want. I just want to draw comics. I don't want to get in this fight. And listen, I was there too. There's a point where, you are drawn into it now, and what you say would have some sway, and I did not mean that to rhyme. So effing stand up for yourself. And if not, you're going to lose a ton of respect from the majority of your fans. They're trying to just remove masculinity from the comic book industry. I say, fine, let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And you know what? We'll just go into the indie sphere at this point. I think some things are worth fighting for. I think a lot of good people did a lot of fought well for the mainstream comic book industry. Bless them for doing it. They were doing it a lot longer than I was. You're just some guys out there. Your boy Zach. But I don't know now. I personally don't care. When I open my shop, I told you, the new comics I'm going to sell are Alterna, independent books. That's it. I don't want to read, like Spider-Man has been ruined for me. Long before even the SJW stuff. Dan Slott's run was freaking terrible. But that's been ruined for me. So let's, do I want to put up the article? I really don't. Here, if I can do it without. All right, you get this person's name will be in print, but you will not see a picture. We'll do that. Boom. All right. Sean Gordon Murphy is a hell of an artist, by the way. The worst comic book writer in the history of comics accused Batman White Knight creator. And by the way, see how easy that is, comic book industry? Thank you for your submission, but you have a lot of work to do. I know you've been around a while, and it is kind of weird that you weren't getting work until you transitioned, and then you started getting a bunch of work. But it's just not cutting it anymore. So why don't you go, you've had a lot of opportunities, and quite frankly, the sales just aren't there. Let's not forget your show. Vagrant Queen was based on a comic book where the sales numbers were so low, they didn't print all of them. They ended up collecting it in a trade that sold about 500 copies in the world, not like at a con, in the world. So the worst comic book writer alive right now accused Batman White Knight creator Sean Gordon Murphy of love bombing. Well, everybody loves their bombs of love. This awful writer's accusations come after accusations against former Batgirl writer Cameron Stewart and Netflix Castlevania writer Warren Ellis. Now, there are accusations against Cameron Stewart that are valid. And let's make this clear. I am speaking directly to the people who didn't do anything wrong. Warren Ellis already bent the knee, which was disappointing. Warren Ellis, who made this whole reputation of being a badass. I'm an edgy badass. I've got skulls on my shelf, actual human skulls on my shelf behind me, because I'm such a badass. And I'll bend the knee as soon as somebody makes one accusation. Right. But Cameron Stewart apparently was doing some bad stuff. It's look at that. Isn't that fucking epic? That is brilliant. The accusations against Murphy were made in a lengthy Twitter thread. The worst writer began. I don't want to get into a whole thing about what happened between me and Sean Murphy. I have covered that already elsewhere, and it's draining to recount. Believe me, it really is. But while I need to categorically state that he never touched me, reading accounts of others felt uncomfortably familiar. This worst writer continued. I am not looking for comfort and sympathy. No, I'm just looking for lots and lots of attention. I feel bad because my show has been canceled, books have been canceled, and my writing career is somewhat fraudulent. So please, no internet hugs. Don't worry. Or advice. Don't worry. I just want to talk about what happened. And then they don't talk about what happened. They just say, Sean never touched me. Basically, it's what I said. Sean probably made some promises that he had no intention of fulfilling. Basically, industry schmoozing is now abuse. So yeah, it's called everything from unfulfilled promises of future professional and financial assistance. Were they written down? Was this contractual or okay? Do you think worst writer in the world might be one of those people where you go, hey, let's, maybe we'll talk sometime. And they go home to their friends and go, Sean Murphy and I are now best friends. I got his number and we're going to hang out soon. And he promised me work. I love this. Okay. Everything from unfulfilled promises of future professional and financial assistant to love bombing. All in the service of making sure I defend him when he did problematic shit. Textbook stuff I've spent days thinking over and talking about with other women, he did it too. Oh, so he talked to other women and said, we might work together. By the way, where's Sean Murphy's married? Where's his wife? This kind of stuff comes at me, Mrs. Nerdrotic, it wouldn't be pretty. For those of you unfamiliar with the term love bombing, Cosmopolitan describes it as practice of showering a person with excess affection and attention in order to gain control or significantly influence their behavior. Okay. Sixth rule. Don't compliment an SJW to placate them. Ever. I know a lot of people have a tendency to do that. They will, maybe I'll get this person off me if I just say, oh, you're really good. You're really good. It's best just to not say anything. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to go, you really suck. Just not say anything. Say as little as possible. I know, listen, you get into these industry things, right? You go to parties. We've all been to parties. And, the room, you get all energized. You're talking to a bunch of people. And maybe, I've been guilty of this. We all say probably a little bit too much. That was a lesson I learned with employees. Oh, my God. That should have been number one in Small Business for Dummies. Do not only compliment an employee when they... It's good to do that. You need to give attaboys and attagirls, but don't do it too much. And the same thing with kids. Do not do it too much. We have an entire generation running around the chode who were told they were special little snowflakes. And then when they eventually found out that they weren't, that they're just meat puppets that poop like the rest of us, at least most of us know where to put it though, they get a little upset. They say, Mommy said I was special. Worst comic writer in the world, you are special. You have sucked in ways that nobody else has sucked before. And that is something you can take a little pride in. It's like, wow, it actually cost more money to print my books. I lost the company money at the printer, at the effing printer. So then the worst DC Comics writer then writes, so let's take the focus off Sean because I don't have jack shit on this guy. He's a golden boy. So Sean's not going to do this. Sean needs to draw his very best middle finger. Like the best drawing he's ever made. I would make it my freaking Mona Lisa of middle fingers. I want to see pores on this thing. I want to see the hairs on the fingers, maybe a little dirt under the fingernails. Draw that. That's all you need to do. Express yourself. You're an artist. If you don't do this, Sean Murphy, people up on high are watching you. They're watching all of us, by the way. They're watching YouTubers. They're paying attention. They don't have anything else to do between their stupid Zoom meetings that all of China can listen in on. They're not doing jack squat right now, except worrying about their job and worrying about their billion-dollar corporation where the comic industry means nothing. And look what we're talking about. Are we talking about comics? Are we talking about a Sean Gordon? Sean Gordon Murphy's got an Indiegogo right now. Are we talking about that? No. This is all because the worst comic writer in the world is a very insecure, broken person, I imagine. And listen, you're not a mature adult if you're going on Twitter and doing this mean girl stuff. Adults don't do that, okay? Unsolicited in front of everybody like it's one of your whisper networks. And oh, by the way, they exist. The whisper we all know this. The whisper networks exist. And it's people, it's grown-ass adults, like grown-ass adult women comic book writers who might have been colluding. Actually, we know they have. And in Richard Meyer's case, with the tortious interference, I suspect there was a lot of colluding, and maybe that's come out in court. I'm not entirely sure. Go check Nick Rekieta. He's been covering it a lot. We know these things exist. They existed before SJW Marvel and all this. They existed outside of Warren Ellis's forum. Again, a person who worked for me ran some of this stuff and was the queen of whisper networks. So, yeah, this stuff's still going on. Adults trying to find stuff to get rid of people because they're bored and they get enjoyment out of it. Sometimes they don't even have malice against this person. They're just like, I need to feel powerful today because every other waking moment in my life, I feel totally powerless. And instead of working hard and earning some shit, I want to go fuck somebody else's life up because it's easier and it's fun. And these people right now are winning. So the best thing to do is not play their game. We don't need to win. Not here. Not in the the comic book industry is lost. There's bigger fish to fry right now, and you can make another comic book industry. You can break it up into little pieces, like it's already like what's already going on right now. It's going to happen naturally. So yeah, Sean Murphy, you can't stay out of this. You need to stand up. Somebody needs to. Look what Angry Joe did. Immediately stood up for himself, and that shit went away in a couple of days. And we've seen examples of this before where people go after people and they get ignored and it goes away in a couple of days. I backed Sean Murphy's Indiegogo, and of course, I don't feel like that. That's not why I'm talking to him. I'm not going to cancel it in any way, shape, or form. But I think if he really does need to think about his image outside of DC and how people are going to look at him. And yeah, you know what? If you stand up to the worst writer in DC, you might get blacklisted from a dying industry. So what? You will gain so many more fans, men and women with common sense, who will see their hero Sean Murphy stood up for himself. We're just asking you to stand up for yourself. Just like Angry Joe did. And just like anybody else should if you didn't do anything wrong. Do not appease these people. Do not apologize for something you didn't do just to make it go away. Don't be a coward. And if we get more and more people doing this, it will stop. Yes, some of you are going to be sacrificial. Again, Sean Murphy might not work for DC for a little while. I don't think it would be forever. But so what? I think he would make more money outside of DC right now. As a matter of fact, I know he would. And he wouldn't have to work for a giant corporation. The comic industry is run from the bottom up. It's a power bottom industry. You know who runs the comic industry? Man, long gone are the days of Jack Kirby, Stan Lee, Len Wein. Now it's Tess Fowler, the worst comic book writer in the history of time and all other dimensions. That's who runs the comic book industry now. Ally with them, or that's it for you. Okay. Threaten me with a good time. You know, the comic industry has never been filled with sane people. That's why I fit in there a little bit, you know. Not saying I'm better than any of them. Therapy helps. Therapy goes a long, long way. It's cheap. A lot of free therapy out there. I highly recommend it. And I hope the worst comic book writer in the world saves her money. Save your money. You want some unsolicited advice? This is an internet hug, but you better listen to this. Save your goddamn money. Because you're not going to be getting the money you were over the last 5 years ever again. That'd be my guess. Oh, yeah. I almost don't even. Yeah, I'll say ZQ. ZQ's in there. ZQ's a part of this. Shit, she hasn't even written anything. They just hired her so they could say they could hire her, but she's got power too. She most definitely has power. So thank you for listening to that. That's been on my mind since it happened. And that's, believe me, that's toned down. I was way more pissed about it. But I'm disappointed in Sean Murphy. I am. I was disappointed in him the first time he bent the goddamn knee. It's like, dude. Oh, you're not going to be invited to any of these parties? Like, how? I mean, it sounds like the seventh layer of hell to work in the comic book industry. I just listened to some of Ethan's stories, and I know other stories from other artists that I know, and it sounds miserable. It's like, why do you want to do this? Why would you do this to yourself? If you're talented, you got the gift of gab, get over here. Yeah, I don't know how well he would do on YouTube, but he's great. He's great. I buy all of his shit. I love punk rock Jesus. So yeah. All right, so answer a few of your questions, and then we're gonna get to Doctor Who a little bit. Welcome again, everyone, or whatever you want to talk about. Bring something up if you want to talk about it. I'm just making sure I'm not ghosted. Thank you. Not ghosted. All right. Kevin Apple for $5 says, keep it up. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't want to sound too negative because listen, we can easily win this fight. The problem is we have a lot of complacency around us. I'm not saying it's you. Not saying it's me. Sometimes I'm complacent. But, the normies run the world. They're the ones who go to work. They're the ones who don't have time for this shit. So that's why it's been particularly bad now that we have provocateurs who have all the time in the world on their hands to bring everything down. And they're trying to, freaking the knitting community, comic books, statues, everything, everywhere. And it finally took some brave souls to go out. And listen, you are brave souls if you're going out to defend a statue. And more of us need to do that. And that includes me. So I can't say a ton right now about this for obvious reasons. But the move has begun. I'm getting the hell out of here. And guess what? Went on my little run today. Counted 4 moving trucks, 4 different houses, just in my little neighborhood. Man, they were getting the hell out of Dodge. It's happening. So you know what happens now, and I'm talking to the idiots out there who are tearing down the system. What you do is you chase away people who pay for everything. The first thing I can personally do is not support the state of California anymore with my money. I can't do that in good conscience. So I am leaving my home state, lived here my entire life. Thought I was going to die here. I hope I don't. I really don't. I want to get the hell out, and it will be soon. And I'm truly sorry for the ones who can't. Not everybody can do that. This was forced on us completely. It's not like it's a great situation, because it's not. It's actually pretty effed up. But I'll give you guys more details on it when I can, because I got to kind of keep quiet about it for a couple reasons. But in a week, I'll let you all know when and where. There should not be any interruptions for the channel. As far as the background is concerned, it's going to have to go through a little transition period. I know that's why you tune in to count the action figures. I know it's not for me. Maximilian Maximilian Holschuher for Australian $5. Hail! I just recently watched the Tom Baker Egyptian episodes, finally beating my Tom Baker drought. Just wanted to share happy news. Yes. There should never be a Tom Baker drought in your life. There is going to be a Jody drought coming up soon. That might be good. Kevin Riggs, thank you for the 15 yen. I appreciate it. And Lens Quest, thank you for the $1.49 Phallic Unicorn Clipper. Welcome to the Proto Molecule membership. I appreciate you. Fallout Zone, welcome to the Geologia membership. I appreciate you. So, okay, here we got Common Sense America is asking for $9.99. If these rumors are true and there are those within Lucasfilm that want to retcon the Disney Star Wars, then this should be the perfect time for the Phantom Menace to truly rally and use its full weight. Yeah, if that happens, the Phantom Menace won. Straight up won. I talked about this with my members, and I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer about anything. I want this to be true. I certainly believe that there's people within Lucasfilm who want Star Wars to be the way it was. Probably people who worked there prior to Disney buying it. But I've said it before, and this might be an unpopular opinion, but I try to be real as much as I can. And I will answer a question as honestly as I can. I have no information on this. Doomcock was reporting on it, got a signal boosted by Midnight's Edge. Love them both. I know Doomcock's got his sources. Don't know who those sources are, but I can confirm you he does have sources. I don't know how that's possible. I know listen, I've seen Rebels. I knew about the Veil and the space between spaces. That was the name of the episode. I reviewed it. I reviewed it a long time ago. It certainly could be used. I want this to happen. I reported that Cameron Pasha had said, and he's, he works in the industry, had said Jon Favreau does not like The Last Jedi. George Lucas does not like The Last Jedi. That I believe 100%. I completely believe that people don't like Kathleen Kennedy. She doesn't look like the most likable person in the world. Just saying. Not to get too personal. Let's talk about her work. It sucks. Everything under her reign sucks, except for The Mandalorian, which was largely Jon Favreau. If you guys remember, the first episode I reviewed The Mandalorian, the first thing I said was, Jon Favreau needs to run Star Wars. Jon Favreau needs to be put in charge of Star Wars right now. I think I mentioned Filoni at the time too, but Jon Favreau. Now, is that going to happen? Possibly. We know Kevin Feige's interested. We know Kathleen Kennedy's contract is up next year and doesn't look like she's coming back. I don't think anybody thought she was coming back. I think she'll ride off into the sunset or do her own thing. I don't think Disney wants her back. I don't know if there's been an offer. I don't know. I just never expected her to be there past 2021. So who takes her place? Who takes her place? Michelle Rejwan, who is a Jar Jar Abrams disciple, or Kevin Feige? Kevin Feige, I said this after Endgame. I said Kevin Feige should leave Marvel because it'll never be better than this. And you can go out on top. It's, just like a quarterback who retires after the Super Bowl. John Elway retired after the Super Bowl, didn't go back, went out on top. That's what Feige should have done and still can do technically. And it's pretty clear he's a bigger Star Wars fan than he was a Marvel fan. Now, if Kevin Feige comes in with Jon Favreau, do those two have enough juice to say we're going to wipe Disney Star Wars from canon, the trilogy? Are we wiping Rogue One? Are we keeping Mandalorian? I don't know. I don't know. But then the other part of my brain kicks in and asks, all right, let's look at this through the lens of identity politics, which is how I try to guess what the BBC and CBS and Disney are going to do. And that's why they're so predictable, because with identity politics storytelling, there's only 4 or 5 places you can go. And they all end with men bad. So you're asking Disney to publicly erase the first female lead in a Star Wars movie. Now, I want you all to separate, and I'm doing this too, what we want with reality. What we want with reality. That is a big ask. I would love it. Absolutely. For it. 1,000%. Do you think Bob Iger at Disney would remove Daisy Ridley as the first female lead from Star Wars and put it in its own canon? I don't think so right now. Someday, sure. They certainly did it with Terminator. They retconned the hell out of Terminator, but that was, and it was brought up by one of my members, that was Terminator, and it was also decades later. I think eventually this will be true. I think eventually they will do an alternate universe or something, or I think they're going to remake the original trilogy. That's how you solve it. That's how they're going to solve it. Ask yourself this. What do we have to financially gain by removing the Disney trilogy? Well, I can answer that question. It frees up The Mandalorian to tell its own story, and you can start your own MCU-ish Star Wars from there, which is what I thought they might do when I reviewed The Mandalorian. I'm like, you can just treat this just like Marvel right now. You have The Mandalorian, and straight up, you just use it like superheroes. The Mandalorian is your Iron Man. You have Jon Favreau there. You have Kevin Feige wanting to come in. You start your universe here and you go. Right now, they are trapped. They have that giant wall in front of them that is The Fall of Skywalker, The Last Jedi, and The Force Awakens. And creatively, that does hamstring them quite a bit. So there is some major logic behind this rumor that, hey, this frees us up creatively to fix Star Wars, because Star Wars is in a bad way. But you erase the Disney trilogy, you get a lot of blowback from the access media, from every blue check mark. They will rage into the night, and we have already seen how many companies bend the knee. All of them. To answer that, all of them. There would be an outcry like no other. Now, they listen, they don't listen to us. They started to just a little bit, and you saw what happened after the Rise of Skywalker. But there are, there are efforts to make this better, I'm sure. But then I get mixed signals, I hear Jon Favreau say we need to listen to the fans. Fuck yes. Awesome. I love Jon Favreau. And then I see the High Republic. They're still releasing books that are prequels to Rise of Skywalker. Now they could throw that in the Legends too. And then there's licensees and there's business agreements and there's a ton of problems with this. But could it be done? Sure. They're Disney. They can do whatever the hell they want. So I hope it happens. I think there's some big let's put it this way. I think there's some big stumbling blocks besides Kathleen Kennedy. And I think one of them is actually Bob Iger. Because and I don't think they like each other at all, but they all agree with each other politically. Now, I was told something different about Jon Favreau. I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm going to just automatically assume everyone in Hollywood kind of agrees politically. So that's another stumbling block. So I hope I'm wrong, but I try to be real. So, and believe me, I'll be the first one to cheer when that happens. And then I'll still not care about Star Wars. So they remove the trilogy. The damage is done. You can't get the original 3 back. And what are you going to do? Does this open the door to remake the original trilogy? I mean, I don't know. It's still Disney, folks. It's not like this is Lucasfilm. This is Disney Star Wars. So you're still left with Disney Star Wars. I reviewed every episode of The Mandalorian. I've watched, I don't know jack about the video games. And I haven't read a lot of EU books. I've read crap loads of Star Wars comic books, Marvel and Dark Horse. I've watched I haven't seen all of the last season of Clone Wars. I saw most of the episodes. I watched Rebels, watched it all, and that stuff never really impressed me, to be honest with you. I know it's good, and I know a lot of people like it, and that's great. It just, Clone Wars was way better than Rebels, and it had some spectacular episodes, but I don't know, a lot of it bored me too. But I hope Star Wars does well. I do. I just, if you ask me a question, I will honestly answer it. I don't see how that's possible. But you know what? I've been kicked out of 3 high schools, so what do I know? Nacho Man Randy Sandwich for £2. Nacho Madness is coming at you. Hell yeah. I freaking love nachos, man. I love nachos. Now, if they did do that, I wish I would be a fly on the wall in Kathleen Kennedy's office when she heard it. Oh, somebody please at Lucasfilm, just have your phone on recording just by your hand. I'd pay good freaking money to see that. That would be a great moment for the Fandom Menace. Her reaction would be just like the Reylos at the end of Rise of Skywalker. It would be beautiful. It would be beautiful. So I want it to be true. I really, really do. And you know, but I don't know. Those guys know more than me about the inside of Star Wars. I've talked about this before. I do have a friend who works for Lucasfilm, and I don't ask this friend anything. We keep our relationship on the DL these days because I don't want this person to get in trouble. And I won't. But they have insiders, and fucking run with that shit. If you hear it, you absolutely run with it, without a doubt. We're not bound to any rules. We're not bound to any unwritten rules of a news agency because we're not news. We're fans. This would happen in a comic shop. Somebody here reads something on Reddit. They come in. Did you hear that they might erase the Disney trilogy from canon? It's like, do you think somebody's going to, well, I don't want to spread rumors in the comic shop. That wouldn't be very responsible for the other fans. Shut the fuck up. Of course we're going to talk about this shit. So talk about it. Share it. Share it far and wide. Anthony Slate for $1.99 sent you fuel for the fire on Parler. Oh, you did? All right. Yes, I am on Parler. I was accused of being alt-right because I chose to go to another social media network that won't restrict my speech. But does that make me Antifa because I'm on Twitter? I don't know. You answer that question. Anthony, I will check it out. So yeah, you can follow me on Parler. Just send it via private message. Or was it just, did you just at me? Here, I'm looking at my notifications. I'll keep looking for it, Anthony. I'll find it for the end of the show. Sorry, folks, for the dead silence there. I don't see it just yet, though. Don't see it just yet. All right. Let's talk about. I'll answer a couple more questions, and I want to discuss a little Doctor Who. And Anthony, do you have the same? What is your Parlor account name? Just answer it in the chat. By the way, you don't have to give another super chat. John Ellis Bush. They are never going to be able to undo the experience of watching The Last Jedi. F them. No, they can't. You can't, unless they're going to go back in time and erase it from our memories. The damage is done. You're not getting your Star Wars back. It'll make money. It'll trug along. There's a lot of really hardcore Star Wars fans. Like, God bless them. I love Nicholas Glenn. Echo Base, they want to keep buying Star Wars stuff. It's like, I'm done. I said I was done. You can erase it all you want. You know what I want? An apology to the fans. I think what Jon Favreau said is as close as we'll get, though. And I think it is important. I think it's very, very important he said that. But I don't want to give anyone any illusions. It's not like they're going to go, thank God for the Phantom Menace. They're not ever going to do that. Remember what we are to them. The fact that they treat us like with basic human decency and we fall apart and start frothing. It's like, and that's great that, wow, thank you for treating me with basic human decency and not calling me a Yahtzee today. Honestly, I don't think that deserves praise. I'm glad it's happening, though. So what Jon Favreau did, I think, is as close as to apology we'll get. Like I said before, I didn't believe there was even a split at Disney until I saw the Cameron Pasha interview with Jeremy on his. Go check it out. It's good. I think it's on Geeks and Gamers Live now. I don't know. Jeremy can tell you if he's out there. Hi, Jeremy. And that's where I started believing it, right? And now, I am convinced there's a split. So is there a faction that wants to make things better? I absolutely believe. Yes. Will they win? Not with Kathleen Kennedy there. Rottweiler AK for $5. Got missed last time. Alaska lost very few to the flu. 0 riots, 0 destroyed status. Also, comic book stores and hair salons all open. Just saying. That's... Alaska's beautiful. Rottweiler AK that, what do you mean you got missed? The last, on the Inquisition, I haven't done the Super Chat Square Up yet. By the way, the Super Chat Square Up for Friday Night Tights from the 19th, it's up. It's on Nerdrotic Live, and I redid every Super Chat. I just went over the whole thing and answered them all again. Alaska's awesome. It's way too far north for me. Too cold. Nuh-uh. Now, we might all have to escape to Alaska at some point. You never know. And I'm glad to hear that, Rottweiler AK. Good for you. Enjoy that sweet, sweet freedom. Louis the Plank for $5. Seeing the Disney trilogy being wiped away would be worth it to see the look on Kathleen Kennedy's face alone. I completely agree. If I was a fly on the wall in there, it would be beautiful. Shiva Vareen, thank you for the $49.99. Hail Gary, hail Nerdrotics. Gary, I was going out to eat with my girl when she told me I need a mask. F that. I have been in too many firefights to demean myself wearing a mask everywhere. So here's some coffee money. Thank you, Shiva. Thank you. I was listening to my buddy Odin on a video today, and he was very nice about what I'm about to say. And I thought, there's a point where we need to start making decisions for ourselves. The government is never going to save us. They are not made to save us. We can't forever sit back and wait for them to come and fix something. We have to fix this. We can fix this by going to work. YouTube's not going to like me saying that, but we need to fix it by going to work and going to and taking a risk. Wear a mask by all means. If you are at risk, don't risk anything if you're at risk. But if you're a youngster, healthy, the consequences down the line will be far worse. They'll be far, far worse. Far worse. Picard sucks for $4.99. What is a members only stream? Forgive my ignorance. You're not ignorant at all. So I have a members section. If there's a little join button, if you want to join up, there's 3 different tiers, and the 2 top tiers get a member stream. It's 1 to 2 times a week. Sometimes I miss it and I make up for it. And it's a Q&A. So you sit in on a StreamYard and I rotate people in and we just shoot the shit. They're a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun. We talk about real life stuff in there. Most of the stuff I don't get into on the channel. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to do that though, folks. I want to talk about pop culture. And you know what I love about the opportunity that you guys have given me through your support and my hard work and your support is I can talk about whatever the hell I want here and you guys back it up. And I love it. I mean, I can do a Doctor Who video, or I'll throw out a Game of Thrones video, and everybody's talking, and for good reason, by the way. Everybody's talking about Naughty Dog, and which, by the way, sales dropped 80% in the UK. Who didn't see that one coming? And the DMCA strikes and cancel culture, and I'm bitching about a book not coming out, but you guys support it, so that's awesome. I love it. I definitely have opinions on all that stuff. But now I love the freedom you have given me on this channel to where I'm not, it's not a one-trick pony here. So I will keep it to pop culture, but right now pop culture is being completely invaded and it's unavoidable to talk about this stuff. I will always do it with respect, but I can't stay out of the fight. We are fighting for free expression. We are fighting for our Western culture right now. No more fucking games. This is crazy. And I never thought I'd see this in my lifetime, to be honest with you. Preppers were fucking right. Damn. Arasaka for $2 for the Move Fund and Pete's Fund, whichever helps. Cheers. Thank you, Arasaka, for $2. I was able to walk in to Pete's. The great Quarter Black Garrett and Bryce, from Louder with Crowder, came by my house. They were in the Chode. I call it the Chode. And they survived that, and they drove back down, and they swung through San Francisco. And I love, I met Garrett in New York, and he's wearing a Stars and Stripes shirt, and everybody's like in American flag gear here. And I'm like, fuck yeah. You know what? San Franciscans they're not like the Chodes. They don't trip that much. I'm sure they were getting stinky looks. But they came by and they drove through the city and they're like, how can you live here? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't grow up in a city like this. I grew up in San Diego. It's beautiful down there. I grew up in the suburbs. I moved up here because, I really like my wife. So I'm willing to live anywhere where she is. I'm fine, but it's bad now. So yeah, it's crap city, literally. And it didn't used to always be that way. It used to be fun. It used to be a pretty fun place. Good place to sell comic books. And there are good people here. Despite what you hear, there are very good people here. There's some nasty people too. They generally run the city. But Rest Borg, or it's Res 7 Borg for $20. Hail, Gary. Do you know of Vincent DePorter? If not, he is an inker and drawer for comics. DC screwed him after they took a contract to work for him. He is in need of financial help due to that and other things. I would recommend Vincent DePorter take his talents and go over to Comicsgate and see if anybody needs some help with something. I know for a fact, I don't know about this moment, but I watched a lot of your boy Zach videos. Richard Meyer, sometimes at the end of his video says, I am hiring. Contact Richard Meyer, see if he's hiring, needs an inker or something. And if not, you know what? Start networking. But you got to be about him, though. I wouldn't go over there and just say, okay, I'm Comicsgate because I need work. You got to be about it. You got to be about the fight. And it doesn't mean, it doesn't mean what the Access Media says. You don't need to be right wing or any of that. But, that wouldn't hurt. You're welcome there if you are. but you need to be about defending comics and standing up for free expression and stuff. It started out as a consumer movement. It's not that anymore. It evolved. There's some drama, sure. Yep. But that's what I would do. I reach out to that network. They generally are, a lot of them in there are cool. DC, or you know what? Vincent, contact, I don't want to speak for them or anything. I don't know if they're hiring. I don't know who's hiring right now, but contact Dynamite. They seem to be a pretty damn cool company. DC screwed them. That sucks. Not surprised. Thanks for live streaming during chore time. Ben, George, for $2. I was just waiting. That's the reason I waited till 4 Pacific time, because I was waiting for your chores to start. I only watch you sleep a little bit, not every night, just most nights. And just most of the time, but not all the time. I take little breaks. Java Bean, welcome to the proto-molecule level. I thank you. Well hung and dung for £2. Manipulating people isn't wrong. It's advertising. Yeah, it's called life. It's called networking in the comic book industry. It's called what the word. Screw it. I'm gonna say her name now. It's called what Mags Visaggio is doing right now on Twitter. What Mags Visaggio is doing on Twitter to Sean Gordon Murphy is abuse. It is harassment. It is manipulation. It is every bad thing you can think of. And all Sean Gordon Murphy did was associate himself with her. And he was an idiot for doing it. I wouldn't get near this person. I would not get near this person. You know what? If Comic-Cons ever come back, I saw Mags. 2 years ago there. I also saw ZQ. I bumped into ZQ. Literally. I was coming out of section E, right? And I was turning left. I was going to go vape a little bit. And I bump into somebody and I look up and it's freaking Zoe Quinn staring me right in the face. I went, ah! I didn't make that noise. I just went. She just stared at me and walked on. She didn't say a word. I mean, I probably, said, excuse me. I'm polite. I'm a dumbass. I just remember her being wide. Nothing wrong with that. Visaggio is Slade Wilson for $5. Slade Wilson says Visaggio is a male that piece sitting down. Enough said. A transitioning female. When I agree with just some guy when he says other women. Again, I agree with just some guy. There are people out there who deserve the respect, and I'll call somebody however you like. It doesn't matter. Just don't tell me what to do and, earn respect. Mags Visaggio has not earned respect, in my opinion. I don't talk about the person very much. I won't talk about it after this. I mainly want to discuss Sean Gordon Murphy, and I did. Java Bean, welcome to the Geloja level. All right. Doctor Who. So I did a video on Sunday. If you guys don't know what happened, Sunday, I'd actually uploaded the video Saturday, and YouTube recommends that you unlist a video. I usually keep it. You can private it too, by the way. You don't need to unlist it. You can set it to private. The bots can go on private videos too. I use a lot of video clips, and I'm going to continue to use them. I'm not going to stop. And if you guys have some of you have watched my Doctor Who videos before. By the way, there's a lot of you out there who haven't subscribed to the channel. Please consider doing so. It's easy. All you have to do is hit that bell. And if you are subscribed and you come across this, please make sure you are still subscribed and have that bell hit. I've heard that notifications have been, I've heard people have been unsubscribed, but what I've been hearing most is notifications have been turned off. So please check that All right. So, yeah, I put a lot of video clips in my video because I think it's fun. I like it. I like editing. I like mixing it up. I don't want it just to be me talking, try to entertain you folks a little bit. There's a clip I've been putting in every single Doctor Who video for the last 3 months. And it's Jodie when she's freaking out, when she blows out the Matrix. And she has that flashback and it shows all the other doctors and they mix in the first female of color played by Joe Grant and a couple of other cringe things with like the real doctors. So I've been using that clip forever. I had it in my review video with almost 250,000 views has that clip in it. All of a sudden they had a problem with that clip. And I repeated the clip 3 times, once at the beginning, once in the middle, and once at the end. They could have easily time-stamped one of them, right? And if they time-stamp it, they let you know that that's the clip, that is the infraction. You can edit it out. YouTube will edit it out. Sometimes it takes hours, but they'll do that. But we'll keep your video up. But all the money will be going to the BBC. Fine, no problem. That's not what they did. They blocked it immediately. Like immediately. They blocked it worldwide. The video was tracking to do hundreds of thousands of views. Now it still did, considering I re-uploaded it at midnight and I basically re-uploaded the same video. By the way, that's a big no-no. If you upload a video and it's on the platform for any amount of time and you take it off, and then you go and put it back up a couple hours later, you'll do half the business. There's something the algorithm doesn't like about that. So you will, a lot of people will have already seen it or whatever, so they won't go back and click on it. So a video that was doing fantastic will just do okay. A little inside baseball there. I said, screw it. I'm uploading it again anyway. But they blocked it worldwide immediately. They gave me no chance to fight anything. And there was no timestamp. Now, that might have changed. It had just happened, I think, an hour previous when I found out. I was visiting with Quarter Black Garrett when I found out my phone was blowing up. I'm like, shit, I was mad. I freaking spent days on that, and I did everything right. And I didn't do anything different. And to prove it, when I did the upload, I'm like, well, was it the BBC interview footage? Nope, that's fine right now. And it was manual. So the only thing I can think of is they didn't like what I had to say because they could have just claimed the clip. I could have taken it out. They could have taken the money, fine, like normal copyright claims. No, they blocked it worldwide. I don't know if they thought that would stop anything, to be honest with you, because it won't. I'm just going to re-upload it. And didn't we just go through this nonsense with Naughty Dog, false DMCAing, and see what that does? It was pretty weak that they did it. It's not the first. I mean, it's the first time I've had a video blocked worldwide. That was a first. I've been hit with a strike before from CBS. And that was a long time ago. That's what brought us Nerdrotic Live. But that was a very unusual situation. But the video's up now. So I've known about this for a while. And I know somebody who works peripherally around the BBC. I do not know anybody who works inside the BBC. And I've always said that that's the hardest information to get. I'll tell you right now, getting leaks from inside the BBC is almost impossible because they have all drank that Kool-Aid, that red Kool-Aid, right? They are all on the same page. So you're not going to get the situation like you're getting with Star Wars or Star Trek, where there'll be somebody working there who doesn't like what's going on, probably some old-time employee, and they feed some information to try to save their show. Now, that was the motivation behind this person reaching out to me. They wanted to soften the blow for what was coming. They wanted fans to know. I guess it's the same reason that The Last of Us 2 got leaked. I know there's all kinds of speculation, but it was probably people who worked there who felt abused, who thought they'd get a little payback. This wasn't about payback. This was about, we need to stop this somehow. We need to let people know this is happening so they can voice their opinion, and maybe, and it's the smallest of chances, they'll change their mind. Now, of course, they probably were never going to change their mind. We're talking about a 0.00001% chance that we might be able to get through to somebody. But you got to try. It doesn't mean you don't try. So that's why that person reached out to me. Plus, I've known this person 4 years prior to YouTubing. It was from my comic shop days. So we became buddies over Doctor Who. And we have talked on and off for quite some time. So it most certainly looks like this is the final season for the first female Doctor, played by Jodie Whittaker, who we will lovingly call Dr. Karen, and Chris Chibnall. Motivations behind this. I don't know, and neither does this person. I got to be very careful not to say he or she. This person does not know if it's Jodie wanting to leave or them wanting Jodie to leave. This person suspects it's Jodie wanting to leave. The BBC, despite anything else we hear, is the only thing they're unhappy about is us, is the fans not showing up to their show, because they are convinced they got it right. They are convinced this is the show for this time, that they did all the research and they know the pulse of the people, and this is what the people want. They're just not discovering it, or YouTubers are driving people away before they watch our magical show. That was a narrative that was thrown around, that we were driving people away so that they weren't seeing it. And if they saw it, they would see how glorious it was. No. We're the fans. We're the problem. We are the problem. So the next Doctor, when and if there is one, I suspect there will be. I have heard from multiple places that they are commissioned out to 15 seasons. And that will take them to the 60th anniversary. They definitely want the seasons more frequently, and that has been a problem with apparently Chibnall, but they are going to be delayed until 2022, it looks like. Unless they start filming in September like they planned, it will be 2022, because the season was going to come out late 2021 anyway. So we're looking at, if they start filming even in October, November, we're looking at spring of 2022. Great. Delay it forever. That's fine. Good. Bye. So I did have a conversation with this person, and I was curious because I think the events of the last 3 to 4 weeks have changed everything in entertainment. And I don't know if this is a change anybody wanted to make, but they're going to make it. And I will preface this by saying the attitude of the customer has not changed and will not change. And I've said this before, so bear with me. If they released Terminator Dark Fate tomorrow and theaters were open, it would still flop. It's not like woke is back in style. Okay? It's not. It's not. Just because you see a few thousand people on the streets in a few locations, believe me, that stuff is being trumped up, for lack of a better term. I asked Quarter Black Garrett like how many people were at the Chode. He said like 1,000, just under 1,000. And you know what those people are? That's who the BBC wants to watch Doctor Who. That's Doctor Who fans, folks. So it's going to change. It's going to factor in to the next Doctor. Now, I don't know this for a fact. This is just our speculation with a source who has intimate knowledge on occasion of what goes on in the show, and me, just who's watched the show. We will most definitely I think we're gonna get a male Doctor, and it will not be white. I don't think this is going out on a limb. I don't think we'll see a white Doctor ever again, and it's fine. I don't care. I don't care what color the skin color the Doctor has. I never cared about that. But it looks like it's going to be a bloke. It will be a bloke. I wasn't sure when I did the video, and it looks like it's going to be a bloke. No decision has been made. They haven't started doing anything yet, but it will be a dude. But it's the same situation as with Star Wars. They can freaking bring back David Tennant. Bring him back. If Jodie's era is still canon, I don't care. Damage is done. And they're not going to stop there, by the way. They're going to use the Timeless Child to water down the numbered doctors. So they're going to sprinkle in doctors in between. So it's not going to be as clean as everything thinks. Now, remember, we had cycles of regenerations that we talked about. I talked about that in the original rumor. That could be in play. Remember, there's a lot of ways you can shoehorn things in. And that's going to, especially when we already have a shoehorned doctor in. Okay. We have the war doctor. But just like with the veil of time, with the veil in Star Wars, it provides an opportunity to creatively expand things or undo things. But what those generally tend to do is fuck things up even worse. Time travel, even in a show about time travel, can make things worse, especially when you mix in wiping memories. Keep that in mind. That was established in The Timeless Children. There was a lot of really bad things established in that show. And the worst one was wiping the memories. It was already there, okay, from the fob watch, I know. And they're going to use that to their fullest advantage. And listen, there's a fun, and it's the road to hell is paved with good intentions. We love the fob watch and all that, and they're going to take it and they're going to use it to vandalize Doctor Who some more. And I know I can hear you out there going, how are they going to do that? How are they going to do that? Those are the same questions that were asked when I ran with my original rumor. When I said they're going to make the Doctor originally a woman. How? How can they do that? William Hartnell's the first Doctor. Oh, they did it in the laziest way possible. Let's dimensional portal. Let's have a dimensional portal, and we'll have this really stunning and brave woman find the little girl at the dimensional portal, and it can still be Doctor Who. Hey, they don't even have to speak a line of dialogue, which probably, I'm guessing, by the way, if you don't speak dialogue in production, you do get paid less. You have to, here in the States, you have to get paid more if you speak a line of dialogue. So if you're just sitting there going like, Tech Tunes all, she's got that blank SJW face, yeah. They probably got her on the cheap. They undid Doctor Who on the fucking cheap. Again, damage done. You need to erase all that shit. And even then, we still watched it. And I love listening. I listen to my buddy Noel. I listen to Bulls Trek, Starry Eyed Girl, Blue Bonnet Whovian. And they all hold out hope. And I'll never forget watching them after that episode aired. I went back and watched all their live streams and I put some of those clips in. I saw the looks on their face, and I felt that. Because they all knew that there's no coming back from that. That's it. That was it. You can never undo that. You can't undo The Last Jedi. That pain and misery you felt, Star Wars fans, after The Last Jedi, Doctor Who fans felt it this year. And it was worse. It was worse. Doctor Who's older than Star Wars. There's more Doctor Who out there than there is Star Wars. And you could throw the EU in there, and you wouldn't even get to half of what is out there for Doctor Who. All that shat on. And I hate to bring it up again. I wanted to bring a message of hope, like the big retcon is on. And you know what? That could happen. I'm not saying it's impossible if there's a new regime at the BBC and they bring in somebody with some See, the problem with Chris Chibnall, I hear, again, don't like to get too personal, but this is what I hear. My insider hates him. Hates him. Okay. So apparently he's like just a raging narcissist. Like a raging, like Rianne Johnson, like a British Rianne Johnson. And he was perfectly willing to do the BBC's bidding in that show. And that was a way for him to Chris Chibnall the entire series. Now Chris Chibnall, it's like a dog marking his territory. He has marked his territory all over the franchise now. Kurtzman is doing that. Gotta admit, Stephen Moffat did his fair share of it too, but at least some of that shit was entertaining, okay? And Rianne Johnson broke Star Wars. But it's just because they were doing the biddings of, can I even say this anymore? Their masters. So look for a black male doctor. And again, that's what I picked after Capaldi. I honestly thought they were going to pick a black male doctor, and it's and for identity politics reasons. I hate playing that game. We want the best person for the role. But I'd be completely fine with that. And I would have been more fine with it after Capaldi. Unfortunately, they're going to saddle this next doctor with Jodie's canon. Right? And I have another piece. I don't know if should I even run with this or not? Does it matter? Well, there will be a major alphabet factor to it. Not that there hasn't been in the show for a long time, but apparently it's supposed to be dialed up. But they're also they want their woke cake, and they want to eat it too. We're gonna get some member berries next season if we see it. And oh, by the way, it will probably most likely be split, and it could be split into 2 separate seasons, so it can look like Jodie has 4 seasons when they really just shot 1. So we'll see. We'll see if any of this happens. It's a rumor. Take it with a grain of salt. Same person who told me the last one, though. Just leave it there. SGM needs to realize that the majority... Sean Gordon Murphy needs to realize that the majority support him, but are just too afraid of the hate mob to speak out. These bullies use women, minorities, and LGBTQ plus people to further their own power. Time to say no. It's what Az said on Friday Night Tights. It is time to say no. What did I put in my tweet? A little on the nose, but I thought appropriate. The comic industry will look up and shout, "Save us." And we will look down and whisper, network, no. I think it needs to fall. And I want you to use the logic. Again, let's look through life. I almost want to do maybe I can get Perry Chan to do a little, every time I have to look through I have to look through life through the lens of identity politics. I need a little bumper for that. So let's look at this through the lens of modern identity politics and how we do business. Well, you can't fire any of these people because they're women, because they're in multiple categories. You can't fire them. They are unfireable. What's the only way you can get rid of them? Like I said, there's a little red nuke button on DC, and there's somebody at AT&T, and their finger's like hovering over that button. It is just hovering. And they're watching this shit go down. And they're like, they are trying to cancel, like the one guy who makes fracking money. Like the one guy, when he does a book, it's like printing money, and the other person going after him is like a singularity of suck. Like she walks by and things get, I mean, like, I bet you she's one of those people who, like some people are just bad with electronics. I think shit stops working when she walks by. Like your computer fries up, the power goes out, the clock goes off on your microwave and you got to reset it. It's so fucking annoying. Yeah, that's what's going on. So yeah, the powers that be they're watching and they're watching all this and like, what is this for? What is this for? To hang on to some IPs? We don't need that shit anymore. Still waiting on Snowflake and Safe Space. Haven't seen it yet. JPRPH1, thank you for the phallic unicorn. I greatly appreciate it. Declan Lyons, have a coffee on me, Gary. I like my coffee like my women from a third world country. Boo! Hey, that ain't so bad. Problem being, Rabbi from another planet will email you to arrange a possible stream. If you can keep an eye out for him, please shout out this stunning and brave channel. I love a Rabbi from another planet, Svi Lebekin. He's great. I cannot commit to anything right now because I will be moving, problem being. But I will, maybe down the road, in a couple months. Sure. That we can do. Java Bean for Australian $7.99. By the way, again, it's the Rabbi from another planet, Svi Lebekin. And you want to talk about inclusion. I interviewed Cameron Praja, who was a proud member of the Fandom Menace, proud Muslim. Svi Lebekin has been called a Nazi. He is a rabbi. He's gosh darn rabbi. Then, of course, we have Father Christopher Miller. I just spoke to him. Then you have the heathen me. And you have like the satanic Az and Jeremy, who's the Unforgiven. We'll just say the Unforgiven. The Forsaken. We'll call him the Forsaken. The psychological textbook indicators of pathological narcissism are having a YouTube channel, and no, I'm just kidding, are the key to understanding current day. Thanks for keeping us sane, Gary. Java Bean, you are correct. Two things to look for. Stargate 404 pointed this out. Go look at the definition of a cult, and then mix it in with the textbook indicators of pathological narcissism, and you've got an SJW. Thank you for the phallic unicorn, Mr. Insanity, for $1 for a 99. Here's the Alpha Omega Records for £5. Mr. B, I emailed you an official Defund the BBC campaign link. It'll be from APM Media email address. Let's take them down. Yeah, I'll look that up right now. Folks, hang in there. I got a lot of emails today. APM Media. Nope, I don't see it. Did you send it to Gary at Nerdrotic.com? I got one from May 8th. No, that's not it. Yeah, try to send it again. Alpha Omega. Canceled Venom. For 2 Canadian pesos. Fat Steven Seagal Batman loves Nerdrotic. Hell yeah. And I love him too. I do. I love you so much. Peppermint oil capsule for £2. Must go to sleep. We'll catch up tomorrow. Have fun. I will. It'll be on Nerdrotic Live in a couple hours after this. Malakot 63 for $10. Hail Gary. Future Mrs. Malakot and I are doing prep tomorrow for a wedding on July 11th. And I get to go back to work on Thursday. So this is the last stream I'll see live for a bit. Thank you for the laughs and escapism. You rock. Malakot 63, thank you very much. Congratulations. Congratulations on the nuptials. May it last forever. And it's, you know what? Marriage is so patriarchal. When are they going to cancel that? I wish you all the luck in the world. Best advice I can give is don't try to fix everything. Be sure to listen. A lot of times, the ladies just want you to listen. They don't want you to save them. They don't, I mean, a tendency us guys have is to want to fix everything. It's like, what's wrong? I want to fix it. I want to fix it. No. Just sit back and listen. And you're going to be wrong for the rest of your life. Just be ready for it. Dr. Mosk for $9.99. Gary, check out Graham Nolan's Chino on Indiegogo. Looks great, and he is definitely not woke. Oh, definitely. I will. Thank you. Yeah, I've been ordering quite a bit lately because I have all this extra money that I'm not spending on new comics. I might as well spend it on Indiegogo. I've backed like 8 projects now. Oscar Meyer for $2. 1,800 of you haven't smashed that like button. Well, please do if you want. Thank you. Flicks by Cody for $2. Knitting community. Yes. The SJWs have invaded the knitting community, and there is a community. There's a community for everything. All right. I mean, if you ask the knitting community what a Warhammer 40K community is, they would go, what? What's that? What's a Warhammer 40K? So, no, it's probably huge. It's, you know what? It's probably bigger in the comic community right now. Vigilante Patriot for $10. Greetings, Mr. Roddick. A series I recommended is the First Law Trilogy by Joe Abercrombie. He's everything you want in a fantasy writer. The same grit of Game of Thrones. Best part, main story is done best on Audible. Okay, I'll check it out. And it's called First Law Trilogy. Cool. I like good world building. That's what I like. Oh, as far as George is concerned. Okay, so I don't know if I don't assume everybody watched my video, but I put up a video. And the point of this video, again, is not to put pressure on George. It's not fan entitlement. Anybody with the fan entitlement argument can politely fuck off. And George can do what he wants. So can we. We, the fans, are entitled to our opinions. And we can just walk away. You aren't entitled to our money, to our hard-earned money. And when I see somebody effing off and screwing fans over, I'm going to call it out. And believe me, I am one of the biggest fans of this guy, of his writing. I don't deify him as a person. He's not a hero of mine. I respect the hell out of his writing. I don't want to be overly judgmental as a person. We all have our flaws. We certainly do. But I see so much ass kissing to this guy and deifying him like it's a god that people are just I mean, I hope George realizes he should be grateful that he lives in a country that he criticizes quite a bit, which he has every right to do, that allows him to not finish a story and people will still adore him forever. There'll be people listen, I got the most crap for that video. You think I think it was more? I got more crap for that video than the Doctor Who video. And it's it's people who are my members, and they're like, "Oh, you're a little hard on George." No, I'm not. It's been fucking 9 years, and I didn't tell him to write faster. Did you hear that? Did you hear finish the book? No, he's not going to write it faster. It was me coming to terms with the fact that he's not finishing the story. And I know there's people out there going, you can't say that. Yeah, I can. Do the math. The chances that George is going to finish A Song of Ice and Fire, George R. R. Martin is going to finish A Song of Ice and Fire, I would put 4%. 4%. So there is a 4% chance he'll finish the book. There's a 96% chance he will not finish the book. He is only halfway through The Winds of Winter, and I know some people have taken me to task on that one, and I will say again, I don't think he writes out of order. He might, but I don't think he writes out of order. he's still writing. There's two pieces of evidence. I hate to bore you with the book stuff right now, but there's two pieces of evidence, and it is hang on a second. Okay, briefly, Sir Barristan Selmy is still alive, and Arya is still in Bravos. You can't tell me both of them. The reason he has a Sir Barristan Selmy chapter at all is he needed a perspective in Marine because Dany was gone, Tyrion wasn't there, and I'm boring the hell out of the people who didn't read the book, but you'll have to trust me on this one. If Arya is still in Bravos at the end of the book, that's good. They properly trained her, but I don't think she is. So, yeah, I think a lot of us assumed he was close to being done. I'm gonna leave you with the words he said in his blog post. It's not going to be published next week. It's not going to be published tomorrow. It's not going to be published next week. This is a huge book. And hear this one. This is the important one. It still has a long way to go. If you're almost done with the book, would you say that? Now, I can hear the argument, no, he just wants to keep people off his back. No, I don't think so. I love how every media article out there was, we're going to get the book in 2021, and completely ignored the it still has a long way to go. Okay, he's been working on it for 9 years. It's not like he started the book yesterday. He has been locked in a cabin for months. Please don't bring bad vibes to Texas Cal Exeters, says Greengrass for $2. Please don't bring bad vibes to Texas Cal Exeters. I don't know what that means. I try not to bring bad vibes, Greengrass. Yeah, I have no idea what that means. I try not to bring bad vibes anywhere, but I bring reality. Ankaris for Australian $5. Hail, Mr. Gary. Late to the stream. You're just on time. You arrived precisely when you mean to. Trek God 79 for $20. Wish Nevada was not so close to California. Best wishes on the move. I would consider moving there, but it's Nevada is. I mean, they have too many. They are too close to California. Straight up. Peppermint oil capsule. For £2. P.S. Do you dig the Avengers DVD after all that B7? I have not. No, Peppermint. It's here somewhere. I thought I had it on my rack. No, I'm not done with Babylon. I'm not done with Blake 7 yet. As soon as I am, I'm digging into the Avengers DVD. I promise, and I'll give you a review. Ask the Cheese Gaming for $1.99. Hail, Gary. I just made a YouTube channel. Ask the Cheese Gaming. Cool. Congratulations. Go check it out. Ask the Cheese. Straight white male for $2 Canadian. Gary, it's my birthday today. Thanks for all you do. Happy birthday, straight white male. Is that all the straight white males? Is that all of our birthdays? Are you in your birthday suit? Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Ankaris for $5 Australian. They need Jax, a big bunny, will reinvigorate the Star Wars franchise, right? Okay, the fact of the matter with the Star Wars stuff, folks. I mean, right now, I guess that would be enough. For me, personally, if they wiped out the Disney trilogy, and I don't think they will, by the way, that would be a victory for the Fandom Menace. Absolutely. I'd do a victory lap. I'd be happy. But then we'd have to, when we're done being happy, we have to realize that, you know what? We still lost because we lost Star Wars. But at least I would say the only thing we could win is embarrassing Kathleen Kennedy. I don't know. That doesn't make up for losing Star Wars to me. I still want it to happen. But Star Wars was still destroyed, and Disney is fucked. They are so screwed right now. Okay, let's think about all the factors here, folks. Movie theaters aren't opening till August, And let's be real, things aren't going to be up and running full steam ahead for months. And the only way that's going to happen, by the way, is most of us just decide to start going to work. We cannot hide forever. We're going to have to go out and live our lives. And once we start doing that, a lot of trouble will go away. But let's say it's going to be months till things get back going again. Okay? 3-4 months. And when they get back going, the theaters we're not going to have all our theaters. And it's going to be years away until we get another Star Wars movie. 2023. By the way, when they canceled Star Wars Celebration and they moved it to 2022, man, my red flag went up too. I just went, whoa, that's weird. And then I thought, well, maybe Disney knows a little bit more than the average Joe public about lockdown and stuff. And I think that's a real bad sign. By the way, we got proof of that. Disney delayed the opening of Disneyland to August because they knew that things were going to get pushed back a little bit in the state. They knew it ahead of all of us. But the reason that there's no Star Wars Celebration next year is because it skips a year. I didn't know that. Jeremy told me that. I honestly didn't pay it that much attention, but they don't have it every year. At least that's, because there was one in 2016, and then there was one in 2000. I think it skipped a year or 2 years. But sometimes it's every other year. Sometimes it skipped like a few years sometimes. So, thank you, Straight White Male, for $2 Canadian. And Karis for Australian $5. Thank you again. Moldus. And I just jumped on me. Hang on. It just jumped on me. Hang on. So, yes. I'll even show you guys. Hang on. I will show you guys. And again, Jeremy pointed this out to me from Geeks and Gamers. Boop-a-doo, boop, 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 boom, boom. The always reliable Wikipedia, which is just completely unbiased, and yeah. So we have 1999, 2002, 2005, 2007, 2008, 2010. So 2007, 2008, and that's because, well, that was Japan. Yeah, look at that. So they didn't have one in 2009. Orlando, Florida in 2012. These are the more recent ones. 2013 was in Europe. 2015 was at Anaheim. 2016 was in London for London Celebration. And then they came back to Anaheim in 2017, so they skipped a year. 2019 was Chicago, so they skipped 2018. And they skipped, obviously, 2020 was going to be skipped. And now 2021 is skipped. Now, there could be credence to the rumor. I completely believe that Kathleen Kennedy's out in 2021. That one, yes, happening. Take it to the bank. She's gone. But nobody's going to fire her. She's going to walk out whenever the fuck she wants to. Bob Iger has no power over this woman. She has kind of bitched Iger. I'm going to say it. He wants to go write that book and act like a Mac daddy. Pfft. She bitched out Iger. I mean, she's a disaster. She's a complete incompetent disaster. And as far as Filoni being this big savior, he'll be better than she was. But if you think, don't get your hopes up. It's like with Doctor Who. It's the same damn thing. It's not like they're going to unwoke tomorrow. God, I hope so. But I've given up. So I hope it's good for the future. I really do. For the future fans. I don't know what there is to be a fan of. Again, I read a few EU books, but I knew there was also a great potential. They could have just adapted that shit forever. We've said it before. You don't even have to, just adapt that and you just collect your money. Nope. Hollywood egos, man. It gets them every time. Oh, my first draft is awesome. It's as awesome as my head is round. Fuck yeah. Happy birthday again, straight white male. Maldus Oliver for $10. Speaking of which, Kathleen Kennedy and Bob Iger is like Kishma Sawant and Mayor Durkin. Kisma Sawant and Mayor Durkin. The former of each has theory eyes, and the latter's seats are pulling every dirty trick to get it. Okay, so I'm like, Mayor Durkin from Seattle. And Kajma Sawant was Maldus. I get you now. You got me with some lore, and I just needed to refresh my brain. So was that the room that Crowder, was that the guy who's one of the power brokers at the Chode, had an Airbnb in Seattle, and the Crowder crew rented it out and partied in it? That's the kind of shit we need to do. That is how we fight back. That was fucking genius. And I'm glad they're okay. There wasn't a scratch on the young men, by the way. And they're really cool guys. And I'm glad they're on our side. Putting Disney material in the EU would just contaminate legends. That's another thing, J-Pat, for $5 Canadian. I was going to ask Ryan, oh my God, have you seen my internet, son? Blowing up on the internet. So proud of him. Congratulations to Ryan Cannell, 20 motherfucking thousand subscribers. You know what? He had puberty. He had internet puberty this week. He got some YouTube pubies. So congratulations, son. Better to leave the movies and the EU separate. Yep. And honestly, it wouldn't fit into Legends unless you look at it like Infinities or something. Did you guys ever read Infinities from Dark Horse? Like alternate versions of A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. It's good shit. Do you think Kathleen Kennedy is Queen of the Karens? Icanillis for $5? Yes. And I like how you spelled Queen with a K. She is the Queen of the Karens. Her name is Karen Kennedy, okay? And one of my proudest moments as a YouTuber was when It's a Gundam used my meme on a thumbnail. I mean, that's like, oh shit. It's like the Beatles covering your song. You know what I'm saying? I made a Kathleen Kennedy meme with a Karen haircut. Wasn't even my best work. It's a Gundam, put it on one of his thumbnails. I was all, whew, that's awesome. They should put Disney, Star Wars, and Picard and Disco in the Kelvin universe and up Kelvin's ass, really. That'll fix the problem for both franchises. Says Battle Hymn 63 for $5. Yeah, in all seriousness, if Star Trek Discovery was in the Kelvin universe, I would cease to have a problem with it. I wouldn't review it. I wouldn't talk about it, but I would cease to have a problem with it. But it's not. See, the whole point, guys, is we're going to go back to looking at things through the lens of identity politics, was to usurp the original canon, was to infect and vandalize the original canon because we needed to water down the white male because the past is problematic. The past is problematic, folks. And that's not a joke. That's their mission is to undo that stuff. And the most disappointing, God, what's more disappointing? Patrick Stewart came up with the plot for Picard, helped come up with the concept of Picard. Rian Johnson ripping off Luke Skywalker's nads, or Chris Chibnall erasing William Hartnell as the first Doctor. I mean, obviously the third is the worst to me, but those are all bad. Those are all horrible. I can see why people are hungry for some kind of hope, some kind of light at the end of the tunnel. There always is hope. It just might not be where you were looking for it. Honestly, we can live without some of these franchises. We tried. I'm going to be pissed about it right now. I'll freely admit this is out of vindictiveness, man. I am going to chronicle Doctor Who's demise because there ain't no fixing this shit. And it is personal. So I will chronicle it. I will review Picard, and I am playing with my food right now. And I'll take my fucking time with it, but it will come out. Is it going to be as good as Red Letter Media? No. Okay, don't expect that. But I'll do my best. But they came in to deliberately take something away from you and me. So they took something away from you. So what? It's just a TV show. It's just a... No. Ashley Harmon for $2. Hello, Ashley. Gary, you're awesome. Just thought I'd let you know. You're awesome, Ashley. Thank you. Nice shirt, says Hyper Kaiju for $2. I'm glad you like this. Now, if the sun came in, this shirt changes color. Do you know that? So if the sunlight hits this, the colors start filling in. Yeah. Of late, I have a lot of Captain America shirts, and I love the character, but I also like to wear Captain America shirts in San Francisco because I'm that kind of an asshole. So I know, I'm appreciative of my country in a place that's not very appreciative of the country. So yeah, I have my fun. I get my digs in wherever I can. The meaning of why for $2.99. David Tennant was the best Doctor. Agreed. The only reason I'm hesitating is Tom Baker and John Pertwee. Those three are my top. I don't choose between them. I pretty much like all the Doctors. I like the Sixth Doctor. I do. He's not my favorite, but I'll watch anything. I'll flip on anything from Doctor Who now. At first, the black and white stuff was a little hard for me. Now it's not. I'll flip it anything. They keep doing these Blu-rays, and I get them in. I buy them off eBay of the older seasons, and I cut out the logo. David Tennant was brilliant, and if they want Doctor Who to recapture how popular it was before, and it would be fleeting, it would be brief. You do a movie or you do a miniseries with David Tennant, and you bring back Rose and Mickey, and if you do that, it will be the biggest thing in the world for a little while, unless you fuck it up. Like I said, with The Force Awakens, that was the closest thing you'll ever see to reuniting the Beatles, and they didn't fucking do it. Disney made the biggest mistake in cinematic history. And you know what's hilarious? Is the people behind that stupid, effing, retarded mistake are rewarded. Jar Jar Abrams is rewarded. Kathleen Kennedy. These fucking idiots couldn't put them together on screen for 2 minutes. How fucking stupid is that? It's this much. What is it? 2015? It was 5 fucking years ago. 6 years ago. And it still pisses me off. It was fucking idiots. Celebrities are the in to infect all of the things we've enjoyed for years. Makes me nervous to put content on my channel. What do you mean? As far as like clips and stuff? Help action for $5. Don't ever be nervous. You just got to do it. Worst thing that's going to happen to you is they'll copyright claim you or they'll slap you down once or twice. You can't live in fear. Again, creativity gets stifled if you live in fear. And that applies to YouTubers too. I do not play it safe here. I'm not dumb, but I don't play it safe. I keep every video. I try to do a little something different, push a boundary here and there. And there's a lot of stuff you're allowed to do. Plus, I see huge YouTubers using big 20-second clips. Shit, my Picard review is filled with clips. Now, none of them are over 9 seconds, but it's filled with clips. And it would suck without it because you need them for context. Plus, there's so much stupid shit in that show. I want to show you every bit of it I can. Hail, Gary. Hope you're doing well. Did you hear about the Donald subreddit and Donald Trump's campaign's Twitch channel being banned off of Reddit and Twitch? Christina Nardone, thank you for the $10. Yes, I heard about the great purge on Reddit and on YouTube yesterday. Stefan Molyneux was nuked along with a lot of other channels. I don't know what the reasoning was behind any of this. It's not something, I was going to put it in the title. It's just not something you can talk about here. But I will eventually. Like I said, this is going beyond what's going on now with the fandom menace. And we discussed this on Friday Night Tights. We cannot avoid getting political now, and we can't avoid this fight at all anymore. We're going to have to, because nobody's standing up for themselves. Like nobody. And I don't get it because they're destroying. I mean, Hollywood's going to destroy itself. No theaters. Streaming services don't make money, folks. They don't make money. They're bleeding money. I heard something crazy. Something to the effect of, for example, Doom Patrol. You throw up Doom Patrol on HBO Max, and the same amount of people pirate it than watch it on HBO Max. In some cases, it's more. So you're not just losing a percentage of your audience, you're losing half of your audience. Let's just say half of the half will be a potential paying customer. But we don't know that. So you're losing a quarter. You still can't get over that. So the streaming services are going to have to get like really expensive, or they're going to have to, I don't know how they're going to do it. It's not really sustainable. Although there's a bunch of voodoo economics going on in Hollywood, so you never know really what is true. Thank you, Christina. I did hear about that, and we got to start asking tough questions about this. There's the principled part in me that says, F Twitch, I'll never go on there. But, where else do we have to go? I am of the philosophy we stay on these platforms as long as we can, and we try to keep speaking our mind until somebody sees it's lucrative to have a platform where we're not going to edit anybody. And it might be starting from scratch, and that's probably the case. So stay here, build, do what I can. Please subscribe to the channel. Yeah, I'll go as long as I can. And, hopefully things go back, to the way they were 3 or 4 months ago. We can start talking about pop culture, and most certainly I will be reviewing television shows and doing the fun stuff too. Don't worry. I reviewed Doom Patrol on Nerdrotic Live. I'll be reviewing it on Thursday night. I know not everybody's into the show, and that's fine. I'll be doing Umbrella Academy, and I will be doing The Boys. I'll be doing The Boys on this channel. At least for the first couple episodes, but probably for the whole season. And when and if Star Trek Discovery comes back. Paisley Gemini for $49.99. Hail, Gary. I hope you move to Texas. Even though I live in Austin, Texas, where you move, I would really love to visit your comic shop when you open it. I'm more of a statue figure collector than comics. I have a few, but not many. Here's hoping. Paisley, I love statues and action figures. You don't have to worry. That my store will focus heavily on that. And Texas is a real possibility, like a real honest to God possibility. We need to go somewhere where we can afford to live. And yeah, I wasn't joking. I went on my little walk today, my walk run, and 4 moving trucks I saw. 4. I'm like, oh, by the way, you don't see moving trucks here. Houses don't go on for sale in San Francisco very often prior to the beer bug. That's the reason houses are worth so much money here. There's nowhere to build new ones, and people don't get rid of them here. It just doesn't happen. For Christ's sake, the property value is still insanely high here, even though it's probably at its lowest level in a couple, 3 years. It's still insane. My house is not big. I live in essentially a condo that's called a house that has a backyard, but my square footage is straight up condo. Got a 1-car garage, it's nothing special. It's old, it was built in 1910, so it's 110 years old. A dream of string will truly be in our dreams only, says TPJ for 500 yen. Yeah, unfortunately, yes. I will take bets, TPJ, that he doesn't even get, I could be wrong. Let's hope that in 2034, we will see a dream of spring, because that's what it's looking like right now. We'll be nice. 2033. I hope the rumors are true that Kathleen Kennedy is dismissed. When the news breaks, there will be a party at my place, even if it's just me and my 2 cats. Crazy cat guy. We have, I'm sure Jeremy remembers this. We have all promised to all live stream, and we will do we'll probably start with the channel. Let's start with Jeff's channel, and then do a couple hours. Then you do Ethan for a couple hours. Then you Geeks and Gamers a couple hours, and Doomcock for a couple hours, then here. And we all just jump to each other's channel and we fucking party like it's 1999. But the rumors are saying she's gone in 2021. If you listen to Doomcock's video, he said that they're just not renewing her contract. So that's next year. I don't know when next year, but it's next year. And we'll see if that Leslie Headland show even happens. I'm guessing no. Is it really an anniversary if there's no one there to celebrate it? They'll be lucky if there's still 1 million viewers by but for the 60th. John Ellis Bush for £4.99. What I have been told, you're going to see the view counts go into 2 millions, John. John, I want you to think about this, Doctor Who fans. You might have a season of the first female Doctor played by Jodie Whittaker and Yaz. That's it. It's going to be terrible. I mean, Yaz is the best at sitting down and looking like a good listener. Harry McSherry for £2. Chibs will try to be the showrunner for years. It's not what I heard. He can try, but actually, Harry, that's not entirely true. His time hasn't been we'll say, how am I gotta put this lightly? Even among people that agree with them politically, he's not loved by everybody. We'll just leave it at that. Trek God 79 for $20. Is it the first female Doctor played by Jodie Whittaker who we will lovingly call Dr. Karen or Cece? Or the first female played by Jodie Whittaker who we will lovingly call Dr. Karen and Cece? Cece, who's Cece? Trek God, you lost me there, man. Just answer it in the chat. I probably should know. So is it the first female Doctor played by Jodie Whittaker who we will lovingly call Dr. Karen and Cece? Who's Cece? or the first female doctor played by Jodie Whittaker, who we will lovingly call Dr. Karen and Cece. And Chris Chibnall? And Chris Chibnall? Okay. Chris Chibnall. I was like, who's Cece? Duh, it's Chris Chibnall. They'll be gone. Thassio for $4.99. I don't know if it's an and or yeah. I don't know if it's an and or an or. If Wins gets done, I think the series will get finished. Most of the conflicts and all the plots will peak in the book result. If Wins gets done, I think the series will get finished. Most of the conflicts and all plots will peak in and be resolved in Wins. Dream will be to close it out. Thassio, no. No. Okay, Dream of Spring is not going to be a epilogue of like after the big battle, we're going to put back together Westeros. No, it's the big battle with the others. That's where the show did spoil the books, Thassio. Okay, so the others are going to, and this is just my prediction, they'll be gone by the end of the Winds of Winter. They'll be gone. And it will be Daenerys versus everybody else. That part the show got right. Daenerys will turn into a Mad Queen, and she will start burning the shit out of Westeros. And at first, she'll be looked at as a savior. And the first time she meets a little resistance, she's going to start freaking out. And when she gets that resistance, she's going to find out what Westeros politics is all about. She's going to get effed over like Ned Stark did. And people are going to get necked over. And by the time she's done, she's going to be all burn this effort to the ground, which might be the best thing to do with Westeros, to be honest with you. But by the end of it, yes, she will be. I don't think there's going to be a dumb fascist speech at the end, but I absolutely believe Jon Snow is going to kill Daenerys at the end. Absolutely. And I think Bran could become king, and it would make sense in the books. I know you guys are going, what? It's stupid in the show. It was stupid in the fucking show because the showrunners were stupid. I mean, there's so many things you missed in the show. I can't even start to bring it up. Blood magic, Lady Stoneheart, Aaron and Victorian Greyjoy, a real Euron Greyjoy, the Brotherhood without banners, Thoros Amir is still alive, Barristan Selmy is still alive. There's so much that's different. I don't even know where to begin. So Daenerys is still, and by the way, I know Dan and Dave are full of shit because I've read the book. So I've been in Daenerys' head for, sounds terrible, for many, many books. And I still haven't seen enough for her to turn into the Mad Queen. We need to see some more. And I think that's coming, Thassio. That's coming in the Battle of Fire. When she comes back to Meereen, I think she's killing the hostages. I mean, she's going to come back and she's going to kill some kids. And she will do it without blinking an eye. Because she's going to lose like Sir Barristan or somebody like that. Somebody to get her mad. And that's going to be our hint of the Mad Queen. I'll do my predictions thing. I have a bunch of obligations I have to fulfill on my Patreon. And that part of it is my Winds of Winter predictions. I'm going to predict where every character is going to go. But the show did spoil the end. It did. Not all of the end, but like Jon Snow killing Daenerys. Yes, that's happening in the books. Bran becoming king, happening in the books. Now we just got to see how they get there. Oh, wait, we won't see it because he's not going to finish the story. Unfortunately, the BBC, Lucasfilm, CBS, etc. have abused and spat in our faces for far too long, and I just can't go back to an abusive relationship. Stephen Yarnell for $9.99. Hail. Don't. They don't deserve your money. They don't deserve your money. I think it's a very compelling story. I do. If I heard that from an inside source, I would absolutely run with it. Dudcock did nothing wrong. He is doing the right thing. And you know what else this shows? It shows how many people are still interested and, maybe they watch, maybe they go, look at how excited they got when they said Kathleen Kennedy was leaving Oh, look at how excited they got when we said we're going to erase the canon. I mean, I got a lot of people excited. But yeah, I hate the saying, but at the end of the day, it doesn't change anything. It doesn't change anything. It just, it's a gesture. That's all it is. Creatively, the only thing it opens it up to do is to remake the original series. I'm telling you. And it does open up The Mandalorian creatively, but I don't think The Mandalorian was ever meant to be this big expansive thing, right? We didn't hear a mention of Baby Yoda in the Disney trilogy, so how are they going to work that? It's a big galaxy. Baby Yodas can exist, and they might not have played into the big picture, and we never hear about it. I always thought The Mandalorian was just going to be this show on the outskirts. We'll see. The biggest problem is they have nothing in production. They have Mandalorian Season 2 and the Let's Get High Republic. And everything else is nothing but a wish and a dream right now. Because nothing started. Nothing's even close to starting. Or I heard they were close to starting, but I heard Gavin's going to put the lockdown on again. That's why Gary, I was wondering if you heard anything about when we'll get book 9 of the Expanse series. I can't wait to see how they wrap things up. Thanks. Chris Hatfield. I don't know. I haven't heard a thing about it, and it's unusual that they're this late. They're never late with a book. I suspect, this is just my speculation, Chris, that they're going to wait to put it out until after season 5. After season 5. That's just my guess. Did you hear about Cass Anvar? I don't know how serious the allegations are against him, but he's the guy who plays Alex Kamal in The Expanse, and he has sexual assault allegations against him. It sucks. Shit. Sorry, High Council. I started late today. I usually don't like to overlap into the High Council. My bad. I suspect after season 5, so end of next year. But who knows? It might be this year. We don't even have a title yet. That's how weird that is. Phantom Mercenary for $5. Will the Timeless Child go the same way as Doctor Who, being half human from the 90s TV movie? Everyone just forgets and never brings it up again. Phantom Mercenary, it was brought up again. Okay, in Hellbent. But you're right for the most part. No, they are not getting rid of it yet. That is a firm no. They're still building on it, as a matter of fact. Remember, the episode was called The Timeless Children. That is key. That is key. They're going to add to it. Now, could somebody come in later, Phantom Mercenary, and completely undo it if we survive this era, which we will. We absolutely fucking will. Listen, if they don't do that, Phantom Mercenary, then there will be no show to worry about it for. They either need to undo the canon or it will be canceled. I without a shadow of a doubt, even the BBC needs people to actually watch the show. And next season will be worse. Remember, they lost 70% of their viewers. And a show loses a percentage of viewers from season to season, no matter what. It's just, it is the law of diminishing returns. I suspect the opening episode will do 30% less than the opening episode of Series 12, which did 30% less of the opening episode of Series 11. And by the end, we'll be down probably to 80% total audience loss from Jodie's beginning to end. 2.5 million people watching in the UK, and it won't even click 300,000 here in the States. I don't know what the ratings are in Australia or Canada. You guys can let me know. Say what you want about Moff. He stuck around past when he wanted to go, and the BBC still stuck their noses at him, treated Capaldi badly too. Brendan Lucas, for £5, you are correct, sir. You are correct. They fucked over Capaldi. And you're right. Moffat wanted to play the good soldier. I think he tries to play both sides of the fence. And I understand that. I do. J-Lo flicks for $2 and Captain Kirk, in the words of Captain Kirk, let them die. R for R for $3.49 New Zealand Hobbiton dollars. Doctor Who is dead, but we'll always have Vegas. We'll always have Vegas. We'll always have Vegas. Eric K. Gary, she is the Sheila Proc of comic book writers. What the hell's a Sheila Proc? Eric, you lost me there. Hang on, K. What the hell are you doing? Oh, like Shelob? I don't know. Don't put a super chat in, Eric. Just put it in the chat. Tell me what I'm missing there. IK1906 for $10. Media makes it seem SJWs are winning in society right now, but it feels like they expose themselves and are really losing. Thoughts? Also, no more money for the comic industry, just manga now. Yes. We do have to read. I got to go over to article because it's in the title, and we will. It is time to defund the comic book industry, folks. All right. What I said in the beginning, I meant there is no reason. The only way we're going to change this stuff is now truly voting with our wallet, and we have to start making some tough decisions. And it really sucks for me because I cover pop culture, but I have made the decision, and it was just through frustrating story after fucking frustrating story. And I just had my fill. I've had my fill of the modern comic book industry, watching people like Mags Visaggio get deified when they're broken, disturbed people who need help, who are destroying people's lives, and they're getting propped up like they're fucking heroes. We are in clown world, okay? So a person like that, straight up, she got her job working it. Good for her. She gamed the system. And guess what? She destroyed it. She helped destroy it. And I can't talk about this yet. There's something else that I got to look into. I got to look into it. I do get sent stuff once in a while. I got sent something extraordinary. But I need to vet it. I need to make sure it's cool. It seems good to me, but holy shit. It's one thing to hear about whisper networks and stuff. It's another thing to see it. The deceit, the fact that human beings, that adult human beings want to do this to other people, that have the desire of it. You must be so fucking dead and sick inside. I can't even conceive that. And I do. I feel sorry for these people. They're broken. They are fucked when they get older. I mean, the whole comic book industry is no joke. They need a 12-step program, but they would never sit through it. Not for a fucking minute. Because it takes fucking responsibility. It takes maturity to go through that experience. And fuck. Some damaged fucking people, man. And they just won't feel better unless they damage others with them. It's truly disturbing as hell. Yeah, but they're not witting. Okay. So again, you guys haven't changed. Have any of you gone, this woke shit's really got a point. I'm going to start buying it. Are you? Are you going to start watching Star Trek Discovery? Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who? Are you going to get mad if Disney erases the Disney trilogy? No, of course fucking not. None of your sentiment has changed. Bobby Sharps for $5. Come on to Idaho. I'll buy you a steak. Fuck yeah. And let you have the first pick of my 30,000 comics and 10,000 action figure. What? Well, you got to sell that stuff. Bobby, are you selling it? We can talk if you're selling it. Thank you. I love Idaho. I spent a summer in Idaho Falls, and it was awesome. Met this girl there. I was like 13 years old. It was great. What was I listening to? Def Leppard. all summer. Def Leppard and Duran Duran Rio. Those are the only two tape. No, I had the B-52s. So I had the B-52s, and I had Rio, and I had Def Leppard, and that's all I listened to on my little cassette. And me and this girl drank beer and made out a lot. It was cool. Defund the BBC sent again to your email. Subject now, Alpha Omega Records. Got it. Thanks, brother. Oh, you didn't have to do that. Thank you. Thank you for the £5. Let's take a look. You are a saint. Why am I not seeing that? I wonder if that's getting put in my spam. You sending it to Gary at nerdrotic.com, right? Yep. Sorry, folks. Yeah, this is why I don't. Yep, I don't see anything. I really don't. Sorry, folks. Don't worry about Alpha and Omega Records. I'll respond to you if I find the email, and I'll talk about it on. I'm doing another show tomorrow, so don't worry. Private Halo 117. Thank you for the super chat. Oh, dude, $49.99. Thanks, brother. A few of us in the 40K are actually fighting SJWs. It's on the tabletop. Okay, wait a minute. A few of us in the 40K OR organization actually fighting the SJWs. It's on the tabletop. We actually bet our armies if they bet they are, and we always walk away with errors, and they try to attack us, and they arrested. I have already personally been in 356 SJW and 40K. Are you writing this on the road, buddy? Thank you for the $49.99. Yeah, listen, 40K has made its way over to Marvel. They're going to adapt 40K. And people keep going, is it going to be woke? Fuck yeah, it's going to be. They made G.I. Joe. Okay, IDW had a socialist write G.I. Joe. IDW had a socialist write G.I. Joe because they thought it would be fucking cute. Wonder how fucking cute Hasbro thought that was. Hasbro needs to have your boy Zach do G.I. Joe. I don't think the comic's that good. I've never been in the G.I. Joe. I'm not that big into superheroes with guns except for the Punisher. I don't like my mutants with guns at all. I like my superheroes with powers, okay? Now, if it's a special gun, like shoots hellfire or something like that, yeah, I can't explain it. But I was never a big G.I. Joe comic guy. I'm old school G.I. Joe, Kung Fu Grip, the actual action figures. Now, the little action figures, I appreciate them for the art that they are. They are brilliant action figures. But no, I know Richard's a big G.I. Joe guy. I like superheroes, man. I like traditional superheroes and some of the weird horror stuff. But right now, I am loving reading my Justice Leagues. My old cheesy Justice Leagues. These are great. Can I post a link in the Defund the BBC petition? Chris Persia. You can do what you want. I have no power over it. Oh, do you want to post a link in my chat? Of course, Chris. Yeah, go ahead. Thanks for asking. You don't have to put a super chat in for that. No, Chris, please put a link in. If you want to interview the woman that brought attention to the woke knitting community, her name is Carolyn Borizenko, and she is on YouTube. Bill the Cat. Yes, I am aware of her, and I wanted to reach out to her to have an interview, but I cannot take on anything extra right now, at all. Every waking moment, I'm not working on the channel, which is roughly 14 hours a day. I'm moving. So, but thank you, Bill the Cat. I will get her on now. Now that could change, Bill. If I get, say, a little help from a producer, then I can get them on. More news on that at 11. Robert Mazza for $10. I think if Kathleen Kennedy trilogy gets to be decanonized, we'll get an animated trilogy / series to replace it. And a future live action trilogy will be set centuries later that's somewhat vague in the past. Okay. I mean, sure. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do. But Robert Meza, if they decanonize the Disney trilogy, they would be breaking licensing agreements that are in place right now. That could get them sued till the end of time. So these are things you got to think about. This is business here. This is business. This isn't creativity where we can make these bold changes with no consequence. Again, I want this to happen. I do. I'm questioning how viable it is. Do I think there is a faction? Yes, absolutely. I think there is. I don't think they have the power to do it though. And what makes me believe that, Robert, that would be cool. I would see a fucking, remember Pixar in their heyday? Pixar in their heyday doing it would be awesome. But I don't know. I guess I'm just old and practical and dumb like that. Hollywood is not going to get less woke after the events of the last 3-4 weeks. They're going to get more woke. And that's why we need you, Robert, and we need Ancaris, and we need 200 Watt Studio. We need every single one of you out there. And we need to buckle up, and it's 2016 all over again. And that's okay. We got them on the ropes once. We can do it again. And it might not take as long. It might take 6 months. Could take a year. I don't know. But you got to be ready. I'm ready. But I just don't think we're going to get less woke. I would love to. If I'm wrong, I will freely admit it. And that's based on nothing, though. Again, that is just my speculation, which is jack squat anyway. 200 Watt Studio for $2. Kennedy doesn't have dirt on someone. She has DNA. That's good. Kennedy will be gone in 2021, though. Yes, she will. Gary, EVS could hit 1 million tonight. He's at 996,000 right now. Well, Daniel, the one, hang on. All right. Let's take a look at this, folks. These will kind of go together. All right. These will go together. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's kind of cut off. Hang on. Oh, it's not fixing right now, too. Hang on, folks. All right. Well, you can see most of it. All right. Sorry. It's part of it's cut off. That doesn't help. So, gosh dang it. Hang on. We'll just do it this way. We'll do it live. That's better. You like that better? This better friggin' work. No. Son of a bitch. Didn't work. It doesn't, you know what? In Streamlabs, it doesn't let you, you have to type everything in. It doesn't let you do it with the mouse. It sucks. But it's a better system. All right, we'll just do this. Fuck it. Okay. Cyberfrog Wreck Planet is at, Cyberfrog 2 Wreck Planet is at $997 and I'm sorry, $900,097 of 108. It's almost at $1 million fucking dollars. I can't even fucking read right now. Sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once and I can't think. 900,097, 188 with 8,267 backers. He is so close to $1 million. So here's what you get. You get the sequel to this book. All right. We've had Ethan on Friday Night Tights. So you get the sequel to this book. All right. Chromium cover. Came in like an awesome shape. It's got my fingerprints on it. Sorry. Signed by Ethan. And it's a big, beautiful book. The art is sick. All right, so you can get the sequel to that. There's multiple tiers. I think it's closing out soon. So if you want to back it and help Ethan get to $1 million, $1 million fucking dollars. Wow, that's incredible. That would be awesome. And that's a way you can support the new comic book industry, to be honest with you. And Ethan hitting $1 million will inspire hundreds of people to try this on their own, and we'll get the next gem. And maybe it'll inspire Sean Gordon Murphy to draw that picture of a middle finger to Mags Visaggio going, fuck off, bitch. I'm fucking Sean Gordon Murphy. I'm Punk Rock Jesus and Batman White Knight. What the fuck are you? You're canceled. You're canceled. Everything you got is canceled. I don't care how you identify. As a matter of fact, I'm treating you like an individual, like I'd treat any other man or woman. You fucking suck. So Cyberfog, Wreck Planet. And listen, I wouldn't have anything personal against Mags at all. I mean, has Mags, just because Mags got a job, okay, people say Mags got more work because she transitioned. Okay. She gamed the system. So what? Don't hate the player, hate the game. I don't blame her for that. I mean, I personally, I have no feelings about that at all. I'm not jealous about it. I think she's gone in and fucked up the industry and gotten too many jobs. But the fact that she got these jobs because she transitioned, so fucking what? Yep. It's not, I mean, she just played them. She did. And that's business. But now manipulating people who have given you, the problem is this now bites them in the ass. Again, I have no problem with her fucking manipulating the system. And now she's getting manipulated and she's bitching about it. That's the funny thing. But listen, people get work. Not that many people get work on merit in Hollywood and in the comic book industry. It's merit plus who you know, plus how well you game the system, with how well you are in social situations. Listen, there is a lot of great artists who we will never know because they were socially awkward. We've probably missed the next Picasso because this person was socially awkward and didn't know how to game the system. You know, Mags knew how to get in, but it's just like the YouTube thing. We can shout you out all day long. We could shout at your channel all day long, but you got to keep them there. It's not on me to keep bringing people to your channel. It's on you. You know, I got shout outs, but like they had to like it, and some did, some didn't. Now with Ethan, he's just fucking talented. Look at this. This is awesome. So we have a $35 tier. with a both frog and salamander toys. I saw him doing the those look pretty fucking good. Cyber Frog PVC toy. We get the Jay Lee cover, which is pretty fucking dope. I'm surprised they probably did try to cancel Jay Lee. And you know what he did? He probably just fucking ignored it. Salamander Villainous Scum variant. Van Skyver Heroes Edition. Salamandroid PVC toy for $25. You get I like this box. I'm a big fan of the store folios. And this is a custom store folio. These things are fucking dope. I put a ton of my comics in these things. And you could put them on your book stand. And you can literally keep your comic collection in a big IKEA book stand. If you want to buy IKEA. Be a survivor, join the cast. Look at the art. It's fucking great. Look. See, this is what comic books need to be. There's Cyber Frog. Look at it. Chicken tenders. Goddamn chicken tenders. So those are gone. These are all the sold out tiers. I think I'm going to have to get this one. Yeah, so go check it out. I'm going to put the link in the chat. I'd love to see Ethan get to a million. So he's 2,000 and I'm shitty at math. And $822 away. I think you can do it. You can do it, Ethan. Go back. I'm on Indiegogo today. All right, folks. My Doctor Who headcanon is that 12 regenerations into my Doctor Who headcanon is that 12 regenerations into Tom Baker and then retires as the curator from the 50th anniversary special. I love that. And I have my Tom Baker figure. Okay, how many toy lines have action figures of 80 and 90-year-old guys that people want? None, by the way. None, except for Doctor Who. Where is it? Where's my caretaker? He is... I have no idea. Oh, shit. I got one falling over up there. I'm going to have to fix that. The caretaker's behind the Weeping Angel. Gary, I love you, but why do you hate me, Fat Thor? It's not hate. I don't hate Fat Thor. It is concern. It is concern. No, I hate the reason there was Fat Thor and there was Peaceful Hulk and you had to kill Iron Man and that Captain America did something incredibly selfish at the end makes Endgame not very good. It's got moments, but it's not very good. And you see the new direction they're going in. By the way, one more Thor movie. That's all we're getting with Hemsworth. Then he's gone. They are fucked. Disney are the biggest mistake. Disney are the biggest mistake in history. The Fixer won for £2. I completely agree with you. Niku-san for $9.99. It's been my experience that people who say it's just a show have limited imaginations or none at all and can't envision anything beyond the tiny bubble of their own reality. How very boring. Niku-san, I could not have said that better myself. Thank you very much. Maximilian Holzschurer for 10 Australian dollars. I am a fool with hope for Doctor Who. I am not watching, but I will when Jodie leaves, and I will settle for meh episodes even when rubbish canon. I need my friend back. Settle. So you're willing to settle. And that's fine. That's what the majority of the people do. But you're not going to get your friend back. Your friend is gone. Your friend is gone. You liked Doctor Who with 12 regenerations, and the Doctor was a Time Lord that fought in the Time War. The Doctor is not a Gallifreyan. The Gallifreyans appropriated the Doctor. The Doctor's victimized by them. So there is no hope of reconciliation. The Doctor will always hate Gallifrey now because they've made him a victim. Do you understand what that does to the relationship, Maximilian? So your show isn't coming back. The only way you will get Doctor Who back is to kill this version of it and hope and pray that they think better of it. Absolutely, positively do not support the Jodie stuff, and maybe it turns around. That's all I can say. And that's good. You're not watching Jodie, and that's good. You want Doctor Who to change, but you still go and watch the episodes and buy the merchandise from them, then it won't. The only way it changes is you completely cut it off. And here's how you don't win, but here's how it benefits you. You've severed the chain and you've already started the process of moving on. If they make things better, okay, you might consider going back, but you've already started the process of moving on. But at this point, you just got to move on. The Doctor Who's not coming back. And that's, listen, I sat all through season 11, all through season 12 with the hope that they would turn things around. There's a point where you have to say they ain't changing. At least for me, anyway. I'm not going to, I don't know if I want to do it for another fucking season. Would I review it for kicks, for laughs, to give the show shit? Sure. But it would be different from when I reviewed it in 11 and 12, which was, I really want it to change. And now it would be just like, let's piss on this fucking mess. I don't know how fun that is. It might be. Java Bean for $2.99. Have you looked into Mastodon as a platform? No. It's been around a while, though. It's been around a while, so I don't know. I don't know if it's there anymore. Nope. I think it might be gone. Yeah, I haven't thought about another platform. I'm on BitChute. And I can't right now, but I might start doing live streaming on Twitch. But I know I like live streaming over here, to be honest with you. I could build over at Twitch, but why? Yeah, I got a BitChute and I got a website. I'm probably going to eventually, I don't know. I've got the memberships here. I'm staying on YouTube. There's not much I can do. When I open up the shop, that's going to be my backup thing, is my shop. So that way I'll be free to, I don't think I would ever get banned. Maybe, I don't think I'd even get demonetized, but if I did, I could stay on YouTube if I have the shop, and that's not that long away. That's not that far away. Juan Aranda Alvarez, thank you for the $1.99. Sorry that the message was retracted. Mark Mattersinian for $5. It's impossible to understate the insult not having the Star Wars actors together. I passed on the movies. It said the producers weren't fans at heart. They weren't. It was clear nobody was fans at heart. JJ is a poser. He says, I've always been a Star Wars guy. I said, no, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. He might have bought a Star Wars shirt. Appleimi's Minion for $20. I took all your guys' advice and I'm buying hard copies of movies. I just bought Blazing Saddles, National Lampoon's Vacation. I love Tom Baker's Doctor Who. Also, here's a few dollars for your California exit. Thank you very much. I am taking my own advice. I showed you. I bought, I'm getting everything. This was $4.99 on Amazon. Got Nightbreed. This was cheap as hell. This was $7. Dark City. Somebody sent me this. This is awesome. Yeah, ready. Apocalypse Saigon for $5. Nerdrotic, you gotta watch The Dragon Demands. That's not even the real ending of the show. The showrunners just changed it at the last minute. Yeah, I heard about that. I did hear about that. But guess what? The ending Apocalypse Saigon. That was the real ending of the show. What you saw at the end of Game of Thrones season 8 was the real ending of the show because that's what we got. I heard they changed it. I heard something about in the beginning of this live stream. Somebody said that Amelia Clark didn't even know what the changes were. I'll look into it. I wouldn't be surprised that they fucked her over. And it was in my member stream. Did you guys watch all? You probably didn't watch as much of the documentaries and the behind the scenes as I did. You notice like Dan and Dave were absent for most of it. Like they weren't fucking there. They took 2 years. You know what? They didn't take the entire 2 years off. That was it. They used the regular allotted amount of time to work on the show, and they took a fucking vacation because they were tired. And they were working out deals for Star Wars. And have we heard a fucking peep from them since? Has anybody heard from Dan and Dave? Are they still alive? Maybe HBO offed them. Just a horrifying thought. The Game of Thrones final season is close enough to RR's plan end that the response scared him. Now he is stuck on a different end because he can't work out how to get the characters to different subvert trope. Brian Yoder for $2, maybe. Oh, most definitely. I think it would be a stretch to say that the end of the show didn't affect George's writing a little bit. But George's ending, I mean, if we got an ending from him, it would be better. I would guarantee it would be better. George is a great writer who's not interested in his story anymore. Okay, he cranked out the first 3 books in a matter of 6 years, and we've gotten first 3 books in 6 years. We've gotten 2 books in over 20. I mean, that's just somebody who's not interested. I mean, they want to do it. They do. They want to fulfill the obligation, but in their heart of hearts, they're not interested. George sits down and he's like, God damn it. Okay, I'm going to write this. I got Daenerys. I'm going to fucking write this right now. I just got an email. Oh, got to go to a con. I'll get back to that later. I mean, that's what it is. Every time he sits down to do it, because it's fucking daunting, he just looks for any excuse. You want to know how we can, because we've all done this. We've all done this. We've just never done it for 9 fucking years. And I'm going to call this shit out, dude. It's straight up. All these ass kissers out there. How could you call out George? George is a great writer. He writes books. He's a good writer of books. Not a very good planner. Not very good with self-discipline. Sorry, I got something fuzzy. Yeah, I can say that shit. I'm not saying he's evil. I'm not saying he's an evil person. But he's letting the fans down. Don't tell me. I love how writers can rationalize it in their head. Oh, I could never finish a story, and you aren't entitled to shit. Okay. And you're a piece of shit. There you go. So I'm not entitled to shit, and you're a piece of shit. Okay. Bye-bye. It doesn't mean we're going to get the books any faster. My video's not going to affect anything. Us bitching to the high heavens George isn't going to be moved by any of that. I don't know what will move George. Maybe if somebody like embezzled all of his money. If somebody embezzled all of his money, like one of his minions, and he needed like Winds of Winter to pay the bills, maybe he finishes it. But he has no incentive. He has lost the fire. The fire is gone. He's 71. I mean, dude, get help. Just get some fucking help. I can't. I write a certain way. Okay. All right. The book isn't finishing, folks. It's not going to finish. I agree. Dream of Spring will be easier to write because all the characters will be converging onto Westeros, and it still is going to take 5 years, 6 years. And by the way, Winds of Winter isn't coming out this year. It's not coming out next year. And all those people there's a lot of people giving me shit right now. I'll see you next year. I'll see you next year. When he's writing another post going, well, maybe by the next convention in San Diego, I'll have it in bed. Fucking fuck. Listen, after 9 years, the 3 or 4 months in his cabin, that he should have been done. We should have been getting a blog post. I'm really close to the starting line, heading to the last chapter, because he does that. He did that with Dance of Dragons. He led people on for 3 months going, oh, I'm re-editing this and re-editing that. Yeah. What I meant to say was in Winds, there is a lot of different people that will get resolved. The dream will have fewer plots and won't be all over the place. Oh, you're right. Thacio, a bunch of people are dying in Winds of Winter, but that also, one of those people is Barristan Selmy. I am convinced. There's no way Sir Barristan Selmy makes it back to Westeros. He is kind of he is the mentor. He's the mentor that has to die. But what's going to be subverted is it's not going to set Dany on her hero's journey. It's going to send her on her downward spiral. Okay? I know my Martin. So Sir Barristan Selmy doesn't make it to Westeros. He dies, which means he's still alive in the books, which means we're halfway through. And listen, I got a feeling Jon Snow might not be in most of the book. And if they bring him back, we're bringing back like an ice cube. He's going to bleed out. He's going to die. They're going to put him in the wall in an ice cell. It will not be. Melisandre will try to raise him from the dead and can't. Her purpose is served later, by the way. And I still think it's Lady Stoneheart. Oh, and no, I love Preston Jacobs as a YouTuber, but there's magic. I don't think it's just all telepathic. There's a lot of telepathy and there's a lot of hive mind, but I don't think it's all that. I think magic is real. But it might be post-apocalyptic. I agree there. Sorry, came late. I have no idea what I missed. Can't wait to see the upload later. Oh, Keller Ranch. I love that people think that way about my fucking rambling live streams. We had like 2,700 people today too. That's good. I'm sorry. I'm very, very sorry to the High Council. My bad. I'm going to try to wrap this up if I can. Okay. Here we go. Thacio, thank you for the $4.99 though. Thank you. Brian Yoder. Thank you again. Keller Ranch, thank you again. Dana Bailey, thank you for the $3 and the thumbs up. And Karis for $5. Film and games artists are horrific. You have no idea. Art has gone in the shitter, Ankaris. Please move the Pahrump. We have 2 comic book stores. Please move to Pahrump. We have 2 comic book stores now. Pahrump, Nevada. I love Pahrump, Nevada. Fat Thor. That's where the late, great Art Bell lived and died, unfortunately. How does Pahrump have 2 comic book stores? Are they open? That's weird. I mean, Pahrump's not that big. Dude, I mean, The only comic store near my house is my old one, and I don't want to go there. They don't have anything, and I don't like the people who work there. They're not very friendly. They don't talk to you at all, by the way. I mean, that's not that big of a deal, but the selection, they don't have any good back issues. I don't want to buy anything new. Say it like Slep Rock Flintstones, the bad luck guy. Oh, dude, I haven't watched Flintstones in freaking forever. Slep Rock. Okay, I gotcha. Parumph, maybe you know what? I'll visit Fat Thor. I'll visit Parumph when I go to Vegas. Mr. Snickers for $9.99. Are you familiar with Aviva Frey? He's a Canadian lawyer. He just did a live stream with Robert Barnes, an American lawyer. They discussed carp donctrums banning from Twitter and fair use. I'm not familiar with any of them, but I will watch it. Here, let me write that down. I do have to warn you guys. Oh, shit. I tossed that piece of paper. Oh, shoot. No worries. Okay. I will be probably making my first serious real life video for the channel soon. It's just going to be once, but has to be done. Grandpappy Fisk for $5. You are a wise man, Gary. Why, thanks. I don't feel like it sometimes. I really been enjoying your content lately. Also, I would rather screw a bucket of nails than Jodie Whittaker. Hashtag RIP Doctor Who. Grandpappy Fisk, thank you. I will try to keep it up. I'm pissed. I'm angry. I'm angry at what's going on. I am angry that I have to, and I'm angry for you guys. I know I am not the only one. I truly know that. So I can't even imagine what it's like for a family right now who you're perfectly healthy. You want to go to work and they're not letting you. I'm just telling you, fuck them. Go to work. If you're allowed to. Unfortunately, if you got a boss who says no, you're screwed. Hope he's paying you. And I don't know how they're going to pay for another lockdown, but goddamn, I'm mad. I'm fucking mad because my wife had a very successful business that she worked her entire life to achieve. And the only thing that shut it down was a dumb government. And I can say that in hindsight now. I feel very comfortable saying that I don't think it was necessary. And they're keeping it up because it's playing politics. And my wife got caught up in it. I don't give a fuck about either side. I just know. And then this is how I tried to make her feel better. I said, at least you went out on top. That's all you can say is it wasn't anything you did. She didn't fuck up the books. Her clients didn't get tired of her. She didn't get too old and start losing her skills. No, she was at the top of her game. Her salon had never been busier. Things had never been better. This was the best economy I'd seen in my lifetime, and they fucking stopped it for a really bad flu. We'll call it that. A really, 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 really bad flu. A deadly flu for really old people. And at-risk people. So I'm fucking mad. Yeah, and so is she. I try to chill out about it, and I'm powerless over it. There's zero I can... Well, we could have reopened. I was trying to at first talk to her. I'm just like, fuck them. Reopen. What are they going to do? Send the cops? Cops aren't answering shit right now. They're barely coming for assaults at this point. So are they going to come out and arrest a female salon owner with her gay partner? Are you fucking kidding me? During Pride Month? No. But the landlord's being weird, and we don't know if we can bring in employees, and it's just like, fuck it. And at this point, she's so frustrated. She's like, I don't even want to do it now. I don't even fucking want to do it. Because because the social distancing is ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. We just had thousands of people practically fucking humping each other's legs out there in the streets. And now all of a sudden It's bad if you want to go to work. Folks, I mean, the media is straight up playing us. They are daring us to shut them off and turn them off. They're lying to our faces all the time, and we're letting them. So yeah, I'm frustrated. It's not your fault. Sorry, I'm venting. And none of this shit, usually the political games are just stuff we watch, and it rarely affects anybody, honestly. Listen, everybody's in the same fucking shape they were 20 years ago. And to be honest with you, prior to the beer bug, except for 9/11, this is the same country under Bush, under Obama, under Trump. Same fucking thing for me. I didn't notice a difference. The only time I've ever noticed a difference was 9/11. Before 9/11 and after 9/11. It's a different America. And same thing's happening here. We're going to have a different America from before the beer bug and after the beer bug. What's it going to be? Who fucking knows? But otherwise, I just live my life. I am a middle-class guy. I stay out of this shit. But now I can't. And it would suck to be young right now. At least I'm 50, and, I don't want to make a life change, but at least, I don't know. It would suck to have all of that ahead of you right now. And I worry like crazy about my kids. Like nonstop. I bet our army is, but it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. I'm venting. Instead of waiting around for my government to fucking save me, I'm taking care of this. And getting the fuck out. And then things will be, at least I won't be under idiotic politicians anymore who are making idiotic decisions for me. No, thank you. My Lights comic book backers. Does it matter which side you use when the backing the comic? Okay, let's see if you can see this on screen. Okay. All right, so this is a My Light. Here, we'll use Ethan's book. We'll start with this. You have the acid-free board. There is a coarse side and there's a smooth side. So can you see the coarse side? Hang on. Little comic book 101 here. You can see that's coarse, right? All right. This is the smooth side. This is the side you want your comic book on, okay? Want the coarse out. So smooth side, like this. You want your board in first. You don't usually want to do these at the same time, but I'm going to do it all wrong this time. See, yeah, that doesn't work. You got your board in, right? Coarse side out. That front, boom, and always, always, always spine first. Okay, because other comics that can flip up. So spine first, down, pull it, and then two things of tape on each side, like that. Bagging and boarding. Banning and censoring is going to create a big black market. Remember the speakeasy prohibition, says Voodoo Priestess for $5. Yep. We're gonna see a return. I said this in my member stream, and this might not be all bad. It's not going to be all good, but we're going to see a return to the 70s and 80s. Private Halo. I bet our army if they bet theirs and we walk away with theirs, they are usually try to attack us and they get arrested, and then we sell their army on eBay. No, I'm actually babysitting right now. Local police kids. Oh, you're okay. Are you bet the army of the because I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? Betting armies, Warhammer 40K. Okay, got you. Thank you, Private Halo, for $19.99. Bobby Sharps for $10. It's all for sale, Gary. Former collection and former store. Bobby, Gary@nerdrotic.com. Email me, please, right now. I can come and get that shit. Please email me right now. Keller Ranch for $100. Can we please stop referring to small, non-influential suburb of LA as Hollywood and call it by its real name, Hollyweird, aka land of the SJW wokeverse? Keller Ranch for $100. I would have done it if you just asked, honestly, but thank you for the $100. It's not just Hollyweird. What we are doing, this is going to sound kind of a little bit like hubris, but I think it's applicable. What we do here in the Fandom Menace, what others do in and out, humble Hollyweird, humbling Hollyweird. The one thing they absolutely fucking hate about us is we're not kissing their ass and we're not deifying them. And we aren't going, oh, you're so amazing. No. And it's no accident that there are no movie stars anymore. And there's a bunch of social media. One is directly connected to the other. We are seeing that they are not only fallible human beings, they're fucking nuts. And the funniest, this isn't funny, but it kind of is they are rooting for their own destruction. They are rooting to tear down a system that made them rich. And believe me, defunding cops and tearing down a system, you think they're going to still make movies and TV shows? Are you fucking kidding me? So these are adults who don't think about this shit. We have all this respect for Robert De Niro. He has the mind of a 12-year-old. He has the maturity of a 12-year-old. Not even a tween. He is fucking retarded. And people respect this guy. He gets fucking, Tribeca. He has fucking, film festivals and shit. This guy probably can't even tie his shoes. And Anthony Hopkins said it best. Actors, I wouldn't ask me anything. Actors are stupid. And he included himself in that. So, and they are. Let's see. Robert De Niro got into acting when he was 20, right? So he's been in that scene his whole life. What does that do to a man's brain? All that adoration, all that ass kissing. Nobody says no to him for fucking probably 2 decades. It's probably only in the last 5 years people have started saying no to Robert De Niro because he's getting too fucking old. And it's probably warping his head. But remember his CNN appearance, and they're like, well, what do you think of Trump? And he's all, fuck. He couldn't, that's all he could say. 12-year-old. Thanks for fighting against the idiots of the woke agenda. They moved way past the motherfucking line. We have to fight back. Stoked. I won a swag bag. Huzzah. Oh, Warren Roar. That's brilliant. Yeah. So, in commemoration of the year 2020, I decided to give you a hat. It's I can't even say it now. Consolation prize for 2020. So we gave away these hats and it says 2020 on it, just to remind you of the awesome year. Woohoo. And we also gave away beanies and stuff, but they're also for sale. You can find out at Instagram.com/Nerdrotic, and Mrs. Nerdrotic will help you. By the way, Lady Gravemaster, if you're out there, it's probably way too late. I'm going to call you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. I'm sure she got that message. It's getting tight because I know it's super late for you and you got kids, so I'll call you later. Lady Gravemaster is helping me with something right now. a great supporter here in the Fandom Menace. Streb Dogman for $20. I started a company making dice for D&D. Oh, that's cool. Spent the last 5 years and about $100,000 for tools and school just for the community to be taken over. It's a kick in the teeth. I can't stand the people who I wanted to make things for. You don't even want to be a part of it anymore. Listen to that. Yeah, you know what? I was worried about that. D&D got hot in Hollywood about 4 or 5 years ago. And don't you find it interesting that when the corporations get involved, that's when things start sucking and things start getting woke and things start getting infiltrated. And Streb Dogman, the only thing you can hope for is SJWs will lose their interest in it. And nothing's going to kill D&D. D&D is fucking, in the best possible way, they are survivors. Nothing's going to kill D&D. Just go and do your own thing. It got taken over by a bunch of posers because they watch fucking Stranger Things. Straight up. You guys must fucking hate Stranger Things now. I would. Hell, it was so trendy. I had a friend of mine. We were starting this channel together. And I'm like, dude, he's the one who talked me into fucking, he's like, we could do this full time and make money. I'm like, you're fucking crazy. Full-time money on YouTube? That would be dumb. I would never do that. But he was all for it. And I built the website and I'm like, let's start reviewing television. And what ended up happening was I ended up doing the lion's share of the work. And he lost interest because it wasn't growing fast enough. And I told him, I'm like, if this thing is going to grow, and it's a big if, it's going to take years. And this was back in 2015. He didn't want to wait, and he left. And he left to go create a D&D channel on fucking Twitch. And he invested a bunch of fucking money in it. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? But he didn't listen. I wanted him to hang around, but he didn't listen. So, yeah, I feel for you. I saw all the fucking douchey hipster Hollywood types going over to D&D. I'm like, they must fucking hate this. There might be a few that like it, but there must be some that are like, motherfuckers. Yep, that's what comic books felt like. 200 Watt Studio for $2. Endgame was the worst MCU film. Took a dump on 10 years. Thank you, 200 Watt Studio. I'm not arguing with you at all. I backed the Honeycomb box a while back. Just picked up the Toy Mambo. Cyberfrog is the first comic I ever bought. And I was so happy with it. Ray Storman, that's great. That's great. And Karis, fandom is grieving. Some have moved on and accepted it. Others are still angry, sad. Shaka when the walls fell. Shaka when the walls fell. Recon 1981 Parlor is sent in your box now. Thank you, Anthony Slate for $1.99. And in Cars, thank you for the Australian $5. Philip A. Demick for $5. Break the cycle of elder abuse. No watching or buying neutered who. No watching or buying neutered who. Philip A. Demick, you're a genius. You're a genius. Jack Random for $2. Wish I could sell my unread A Song of Ice and Fire box set back. Yeah, right? How many times have they reprinted a story that they're never going to finish? Listen, I brought reprints that were signed for like $150 from the Folio Society. And that fucker's doing it knowing he's not going to finish. He knows, by the way, he knows he's not going to finish. He knows he isn't. He knows right now he's not going to finish. But he's going to go, well, I'm going to try. By the way, we haven't gotten the 6th book yet. So let's start. That's why I jumped to he's not finishing. I meant it. I said, I'm going to give him until this summer. He put that blog post up. I read it and I just went, fuck. Fucking, he just bought himself another year. The fucker just put it off another fucking year. And it's almost the same wording as the one he wrote in 2015. I mean, fine, if you're not going to finish the book, be honest with your fans, dude. He won't be. He won't be. We need a retcon. We need to retcon back to Max Smith to make the Doctor redeemable. I have written an unofficial story that would work. What UK shows do I like? Aside from Doctor Who right now, nothing. I mean, I think the BBC is garbage right now. But like Life on Mars, I'm a huge fan of Monty Python, of course. It's the classic stuff, Faulty Towers. And I'm trying to think of anything else. Hitchhiker. I'm a huge Hitchhiker fan. I'm a giant Hitchhiker fan. So I am of the generation that watched PBS, and we watched PBS, and they would have all the BBC stuff. So, yeah, that's where I got turned on to Hitchhiker and Doctor Who. But current British TV, I watched Merlin. It was okay. I also, what was the goddamn? I'm blanking on the name. That's what I'm. The one with Aidan Turner, with the vampire. God, what was the name of it? I like the show. I can't think of the name because I'm getting tired. But that's what I like so far. I'm liking Blake 7. I also like The Prisoner. I like The Avengers. Yeah. Here's hoping that you don't burn at the stake for upsetting the overlords. The purge that's been happening is so sad. Thanks for doing what you do. Dan Vask, thank you. I appreciate you. That's awesome, Dan. You're brilliant. I'll hang in there as long as I can. Michael Tynan for a phallic unicorn for $1.49. Thank you. Hooch Be Crazy for $1.99. Comic Shop Gun Range Gary. Remember this. I'm thinking about it. Well, since nobody's prosecuting anything, I'm like, well, maybe I can go buy a gun. Maybe nobody will notice. Captain Spire. You know what? They're oppressing me. Captain Spire for $2. It's been a while, but could you say, where's Fury? Where's Fury? Where's Fury? Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Where's Fury? Where's Fury? Got to gravel. Move to Longview, Texas, and start a new comic book store. We need one. I would be in your store all the time, says Gregory Fried for $7.50. All right. Longview. I could make a joke right there, but I won't. I will look into where Longview, Texas is. The plan is to take a big road trip and go through some places and scout it out, and then visit my sister in New Mexico. She lives in Albuquerque, right next to Walter White and Saul Goodman. David Kiefer for $2. You need to see Eric July against Ninja Bots. Well, Eric July is going to be on Friday Night Tights. 2 p.m. this Friday. Young Ripa makes a return. That's right. Any contact with your AA folks? How are you and your family? Captain Spire, going a little insane. I haven't been to an AA meeting since March. It's not good for me. It's not good for me. That's part of the reason we're motoring it out of here so I can go to an AA meeting. Just want you to know you are appreciated, and I pray for you guys, and just want you all to be safe. Thank you, Captain Spire. I appreciate it. No, yeah, we're getting out of here fast so I can get to a meeting. I used to go to a meeting every week. It's not good. And I completely feel off from it. The Fixer 1 for £2. U.S. news media is full far left propaganda bullshit. Yep. Did you watch the hour-long Elric video from Razor Fist? I did. Cruder quoting one for $2, and I will watch it again. I've actually watched it 3 times, and I will watch it again. I love that video. Rock Flanagan for $6.66. The Super Chat of the Beast. Not under idiotic politicians anymore. Where are you moving? Antarctica? Just kidding. Well, less idiotic politicians. I don't want to live anywhere where the mayor is totally okay with burning down an economy to defeat a president. Adam O, welcome to the proto-molecule level. Arnold S, welcome to the Geologia level. Snell World, Gary, do you have Batman 426 in your collection? I do. Thank you for asking. Planning on opening my own comic book store in the near future. Any tips? R.I.P. Doctor Who, R.I.P. Star Trek, R.I.P. Star Wars. Austin Sings for $4.99. Yeah, don't get buried under your inventory. Stop collecting immediately. Once you open a store, you are no longer a comic customer. You are a comic seller. Don't hire an employee until you absolutely positively need one. Be a cold-hearted businessman, especially when it comes to buying comics. Don't believe anybody's sob story. You are there to do business. And have fun. Talk to a lot of other comic book shop owners. They love to share the tools of the trade and share the craft. There's a lot of good people to do it. Ask a lot of questions, but it's not rocket science. But man, if you want to, it would be tough right now. I don't know if you have a good back issue collection and a good toy collection, I'd say go for it. But if you're going to rely on new comics, I'd hold back. And I would go on a summer buying tour if we open back up and go hit swap meets and stuff like that and just buy vintage. What did you think of the third season of Dark? JPR PH1 for $4.99. I've seen one episode, man. So far, I like it. I decided to watch Doom Patrol instead because it was 3 episodes. Oops. And Circling, welcome to the proto-molecule level. Wow, we went too long today. That's awesome. I went way longer than I was supposed to. It is 8 o'clock at night now, and I ran right through the High Council. I feel terrible. I'm gonna run, everybody. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you to the Nerdrotics. Thank you to the 2,700 people who hung through. Again, my apologies to the High Council. I didn't mean to go this late. Chris Persia, thank you for your wrench. Eric K, thank you for your wrench. Appreciate you guys. Lori Wilson, thank you for your wrench. Lady Gravemaster, I will talk to you tomorrow at 10 a.m. And we'll be back here 12 p.m. Pacific time. It's going to be like 90 minutes tomorrow because I got some videos to work on. I am working on Picard. We'll have it soon. Probably like a week. It's probably like a week away. Yeah. I'm going to fuck that shit up. Thank you for all your support. There will be an in real life video coming when I make the big decision to get the hell out. I mean, I have, but I'm going to make it official. I just can't make it official just yet. And I don't know what my next video is going to be. I have no idea. Oh, I didn't get to something. That's what'll be my next video. Time Magazine, Clownfish TV did a good video on this. Time Magazine is going to cancel superheroes. Now, the only reason I'm doing a video is because I called it 4 weeks ago and I said, this is what they're going to do. And they fucking did it. So, this is the shit we need to what we need to do is do what the Phantom Menace did to Star Wars towards the end. Everything that rears its ugly head, every little piece of cancel culture, every little piece of stupidity like cancel superheroes, we need to mock it into oblivion. And I mean, we need to start ramping up the work. That's what I need to do. I'm like, you know what? There's so much shit to make videos on. And I didn't make a video on it. And it's like, I at this point, fuck the views. Every time I see something stupid from cancel culture, I'm going to mock it into oblivion. And I need your help. We need all of your help. We need more people doing this shit. We need to fight back against this shit. Because right now, if you from an outsider will look at this and we're getting our asses kicked right now. And we're not. But it looks that way. We need to change the perception. Okay? So let's do that. We do not kneel. Not all who wander are lost. May the wings of liberty never lose a feather, and you bow to fucking no one. See you tomorrow.